Let's see. Alright, so Roderick was supposed to be scribed today, or it's his turn anyway. Is anyone able to step in for him for the story point?
I don't mind if neither one of you want to.
Like, is anyone lower on story points? Like, how many?
Yeah, I'm loaded in story points.
What does story points do again?
So you can use story points to get a reroll. Like, you could do that once per short rest, get a reroll on a roll, which is pretty powerful. You can save them up to do things like you get a one-time respec with them, and if you get a bunch of them, you could trade those for like in-game stuff, like writing the story a little yourself if you want something cool to happen. Or like you can pay 10 of them, which is like the limit to kind of have a side story happen for your character. Like after,
Cool.
yeah, like after.
What does the re-inspect entail? Like just everything and anything, or?
So I wrote it up in the information section. Let me see, what did I write? It's a limited respec one time. You can. Hang on, let me check it out. Just one time character respec. You can adjust any aspect of your character chosen. This includes things like ability score, subclass, spell choices. I guess it is anything. Yeah. So basically, you can't change your main class, but pretty much anything else, like your ability scores, your subclass, anything like that. That's 3 points to do that, and you can do it one time for a character. At least for now. I don't know. Maybe I'll do more later, but I don't want people just respecting constantly.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was like. Oh, what a cool idea. But
So yeah, that's the, and that's mostly people use it to do the respec or the reroll. Those are the most common. And yeah, like you can do stuff like introduce a backstory element like an NPC, or yeah, like I said, you can do a backstory side quest for 10 points. It's kind of. Or go ahead.
I mean, I'll do it if someone else doesn't want to. I've never done it before, but
Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. You can you can do it, be it as involved or as like little as you want. Like some people do these like elaborate story things like from their point of views. Other people's actually like write the story of what happened. Some people do like kind of bullet points. It's also I mostly do it so like people can look back and like see all the stuff that's happened for each group. Like so there's like a what's it called, like a accounting of what's happened. Yeah. All right. So you said you're okay doing it?
Only if other people don't want to do it, because I don't care that much.
I'm not bothered. I can do it if people don't want to do it.
Like all three, you said that.
You could do it.
Who needs story point again?
I don't need this thing. I don't need the story point.
I have a bad habit of I'll just hoard them until I get like 10, and I'll just go, spend it on this. I don't use them.
That's true. He does hoard them a bit. Well, if you guys want, I could just roll for it.
I'll do it. It's fine.
I'll be right back. My brother needs something.
Sure. All right. So
story points.
You need story. Yeah. You need your story points.
I just collect them and then I do like a backstory thing, just because I'm like, I don't use these here.
Yeah, the backstory thing is a good use just to mass like dump a bunch. It's the only issue is like getting to a point in the story where that can happen sometimes, because like if you're in the middle of something important, you can't just be like, oh, my brother has shown up, I need to go help him. We have to put the saving the town on hold.
A mysterious letter has arrived at the present town.
You're a wizard, Quentin.
Yeah.
My cousin is dead. I must go to the funeral.
Yeah. It's not like a video game. You can't just put a quest on hold if the town is under attack or something.
Okay, I love the idea of, you're a wizard, Quentin. No, I'm a bard. I do the music thing.
You're a wizard, Harry. Yeah. All right. So Oliver is on scribe. Ko was the previous scribe. Obviously, he's not here. What about the quartermaster? Ko was doing it. Basically, the quartermaster is just like paying the group's like upkeep each day and like spending food for the group. And like if someone puts stuff in the party treasury, you're kind of making sure like that gets into the party treasury. So it's just a little bit of bookkeeping, but not much. Is anyone able to do that?
The spreadsheet. I can do it.
Alright, I'll say Damien.
I think I already have 1 week of quartermaster done.
Yeah. Okay. So Damien's quartermaster. So. Alright, so Ko isn't here to read the previous. Is anyone willing to read his synopsis from last week?
I can do it if you want.
Alright, thank you. Let's get this rolling.
Okay, so party fights the Blood Hand, who threaten to kill hostages. Party defeat the Blood Hand, including their expert archer and gladiator. After the battle, the party checks the tents and saves civilians. One of the people, an old beaten man named Doru, gives the party healing potions and thanks, and heads over to Darkwater Inn. The party deliberately fight more, but begin exhausting their resources and energy. Many of them return to Darkwater Inn. Roderick sought to go find more information. As the ghost Roderick investigated the Blackwater estate, Roderick came across some looters dragging away an old guard. Managed to kill them and returned to the inn. The party leveled up. Next morning, Walnut gave Oriella a copper ring that allows her to recharge spell slot once per day. The party discussed how to handle the aftermath of the Blood Hand raids the prior night. The group split. Ko, Oriella, and Walnut go and speak to the mayor at the town hall barracks. Ko explained that there are tunnels under Chaur and the secret entrance in the statue east of the marketplace. Damien, Roderick, and Oliver go to approach the Blackwater estate. Speaking with Galen, they try to convince him to assist with the investigation of the underground tunnels. With Silvertongue, Damien did his best to convince Galen to lend assistance with men and or resources in some form or another. Oliver managed to convince Galen to go down to the Blackwater estate dungeon to interrogate their prisoners. Oriella, Ko, and Walnut regroup with the rest of the party. It's time to go to the dungeon. In the dungeon, we learn the prisoners that we had given to Blackwater were being kept and experimented on by Blackwater, as was explained by the white-haired hooded woman in the southern cell, Shay. Ko almost snapped him on the guard after learning Galen was using necrotic magic to drain the prisoners, stopping by Roderick warning that it was not the right time to do that. Damien and Oliver managed to convince the guards to cut off the prisoner and take them with Roderick, Ko, and Oriella, whispering amongst themselves about the terrible implications of Galen's horrendous experiment. And he didn't put this in there, but Oliver did the whole thing that allowed Shay to escape.
Yeah, you distracted them. All right. Thank you for that recap. So, it is the 23rd of fall at 9 a.m. The group is heading upstairs to talk to Blackwater and basically tell him they're taking the prisoners. Go ahead. Are you gonna say something?
I'll be like, if we just walk out.
I'm just gonna try to walk out with them. You could try. Walnut. So I know you gave one of the former players like that infusion.
Mm-hmm.
Since they've stepped out, I mean, I guess with infusions you could just change it the next day.
That was just what I was thinking. Well, I just can infuse something else.
Yeah, so actually, like, I was gonna say, like, maybe you could switch it, but, I mean, it can happen naturally pretty easily, in story, so...
Yeah,
okay. Alright.
I have 3 infusions, so once I do 1, then
Yeah, I think it's on a long rest you change those.
Yeah.
Alright, so you go upstairs, and as you are walking like through the main area with the prisoners, Blackwater would approach with several of his mercenaries and say, what are you doing? What is the meaning of this?
We are taking our prisoners to the barracks for interrogation.
And he says, I thought they were to be interrogated here. Why are you suddenly moving them? He says, with all that's happening in the town, I don't think it's a good idea to bring them to a new location.
Well, I'm sure the mayor would like to speak with them personally, and I'm sure she has some sentencing to do as well.
Give me a persuasion. DC is 20.
Hold on. Loading up my character sheet.
Remember, you've got bardic inspiration. I gave it you before the end of the last game.
Are you exhausted though? I don't think you
I
are.
am.
Oh, you are.
I am.
All right.
Bardic Inspiration's a D6.
D8.
D8.
Went up. Long rest.
Oh, you might get that with a natural 8.
Let's see. Now I have a question regarding lucky.
Yeah.
So, if I use the D8 here and doesn't make it, when I lucky, do I lose the D8?
Let me see Lucky. Then
let me
link it.
post in chat.
I think lucky would work for the persuasion, but it wouldn't work for my D8.
So you can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20. You can choose to spend one of your luck points after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined. I think the d8 wouldn't matter. You can just roll another dice, and if it's higher than the, what did you roll for the 12? You rolled a 3. So if it's higher than a 3, you can basically use it.
Alright, then I will use a second luck point, leaving me down to 1.
Okay.
To roll d20 plus 9.
Alright.
And I'll
I'm assuming.
use the Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, 17. Alright, so yeah, d8. Alright. So he seems annoyed, but he will say, I suppose if you are set on this, but I think it's a mistake. They could attack you in the street. It's chaos out there.
I appreciate your concerns, cousin, but we'll be fine.
He just kind of eyes you as if thinking for a moment, but then just motions like, very well. Good luck. And make sure you return to look more into the tunnels. We need to flush out the remaining Bloodhand before they attack
Yes.
again.
Yes, and do keep us updated if your scouts find anything before we do.
And he says, I will let you know. Alright, so you're taking the prisoners through the streets.
Just quick thing, Damien. Instead of going the normal way, if your cousin's really that angry at us that we're taking them, can we go a different route that he might not be able to set a trap for us?
Lead the way.
Shock says, you think he would set a trap? We literally just told him.
Are we out his estate yet?
Yeah, you are outside the gate. Like, there's a bunch of mercenaries, like, keeping the estate on lockdown.
That's fine.
The streets
I don't
are...
want to say what
go ahead.
I don't want to say what I'm about to say if we're in his estate. Go. Yes,
Well-
but in fairness, none of us knew we could do necrotic magic and was draining the life force of these people. So, I would like to err on the side of caution and go the way he doesn't know we could go, or doesn't think we might go.
He nods. He says, that might be wise, though also traveling through the back areas, there'd be less guards and people around to help us. But I will defer to your wisdom, whatever you all think is best.
Well, he's your cousin, Damien. Do you think he'd do that?
I'm not so sure. I think he'd want to save face. But if you'd rather be safe than sorry, let's go with your plan.
Oh no! If you think it's safe to go along the main road, we'll go along the main road.
Melody would look to Walnut. She says, you're an artificer, right? Do you have any like devices that could maybe help detect danger as we move?
Well, I could they can cast see invisibility.
She
That
says,
was not very the most keen eye.
says, my apologies. I don't know much about artificers, only that they have strange and exciting inventions they use to do magic.
But yeah, I mean that's what my crossbow is. Friend, the ring I gave her is things I made using the magic, but I don't have anything specifically made for the task.
Shock nods. He says, well, I guess the back roads it is then? Or,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Damien, do you think you're... Yeah, I'm sorry, you were talking before. What do you think?
No, I believe what Oliver's saying is correct. Now that we know about these experiments, I'm not sure what to think anymore.
Shock nods. He says, all right. We could go through the fields, maybe use the forests. He kind of points at the map. There's less people to the north. These areas are more abandoned. If we use main roads, obviously, your cousin may have been expecting that. As you look around, the streets and the farmland right now are completely abandoned. Probably everyone's hiding out inside or at one of the safe areas.
Which one does it look harder that we could get ambushed from? The main road or through the fields?
It depends. The main road, the ambush would be more obvious. The fields, like, the ambush would be, yeah, because there'd be less people around, but yeah, it's hard to say.
and then how many
Right,
people
we'll
are
do
we trying to escort?
Oh, good. I think 4. Yeah.
I
One
mean,
of them.
they are prisoners. I mean, it would be if we avoid the road, they might try to escape, like over in the woods or something like that. Just
The master.
bad. They are trying to escape.
The master thief would say, I wouldn't be surprised if that devil tries to ambush you all. I don't think he wants his little dark little secret to be known. Says, but
Hey,
you are
don't
right.
even remember him doing that, so don't start commenting.
He shrugs. He says, well, if what you say is true, then obviously he did something to us.
I suppose if it's going to be kind of like equal, I'd say do the main road if we're more likely to see the ambush coming. Because at least we know.
Alright, so you're going on the main road.
Yeah, let's be cautious.
Alright, so you start traveling past the Blackwater farmland and the Cursed Church. So the Cursed Church area is always abandoned, so that's nothing unexpected. As you approach the market, you see what looks like a partially makeshift barrier erected near the edges, and possibly like some guards and maybe some mercenaries have set up a gate here to enter. As you approach, they say, halt. We're keeping the market on lockdown for now. No one's allowed in. Sorry. You'll have to go elsewhere. We're not taking in any
Hey,
more
no,
refugees.
Who
No,
is this?
no, I'm not. No, you're opening the fucking gate. We're coming through now.
Give me a persuasion. DC 5.
That's literally impossible to fail.
So as you
I have a 12 anyway.
as you get closer, he says, "Oh, it's the Misfits. Let them in." And the gates swing open. It's not a very good defensive gate, but it would slow someone down at least. So yeah, it looks like the marketplace has kind of been fortified a little. The merchants kind of consolidated a bunch of their mercenary guards, and they've been keeping a lot of the goods here, or that are here, safe.
Right.
So I assume
How movable are the goods that they've got?
movable.
Yeah, like, how easy is it for them to transport them somewhere else?
I mean, so you would see, like, most of them aren't out in the open, but you might see a couple of stalls with some crates in them every now and then, and, like, a bunch of guards keeping an eye out.
Okay, because Oliver's going to say, look, that fortification is fucking shite. So, here's a better idea. If you want to have a fucking chance at keeping your shit, move everything to the Dark Water. We've set up ours there, so just go and join that and instead of having loads of different ones.
Guy looks a little sad. He says, I was just working on this. I only had a night to build this. Get off my back,
Dude,
man.
no, wrong. For a night, that's good, but let's be completely honest. If anyone wants to get through, they're getting through. So the whole point of this is to protect everything, move it to somewhere that's actually defensible, like where we've got ours, and just have it all focused in one point.
Give me a persuasion. Okay.
22.
So, a couple of the other guards say, it's not a bad idea. It does look like the Dark Water's fortified right now. Another one says, but it's going to be a little crowded over there, isn't it? I'm sure they already have a bunch of villagers there. Are you sure they have room for us and the goods?
Hey, right. They back onto a field and a forest. They'll have enough room. You just might have to stick up tents or maybe sleep outside, which, let's be completely honest, you were staying in the marketplace. It's not exactly a hotel.
One of the guys says, I'll go check it out and see if it's viable. But, yeah.
I mean, where we're at now has 5 different entrance or exits, without counting the open areas around it. Like, it's kind of a sitting duck. But what do I know? I'm just a musician.
Says, well, like I said, I'll check it out, and if it's viable, we'll go there. Thank you for the suggestion. Alright, so you're moving on. One of them would ask, what's up with these prisoners? I assume they were from the riots?
There are prisoners, nothing to do with you. Shut up and keep your nose out of it. Mind your own business.
The guy just sighs. He says, you're kind of a jerk, you know that? First, my wall's not good enough, now my prisoners.
Nosy. And you're kind of nosy. Are you working for the Bloodhound? Are you in on it? Maybe we should start looking into you and start suspecting you as a co-conspirator.
He just shakes his head, says, you're free to move along.
You're free to move along.
As we're walking down the street, I'll like turn on. That was a bit harsh, don't you think?
You really want them asking questions?
No. It still could have been a little nicer though.
Look, niceness doesn't get you anywhere. Being a dick gets them to stop asking you questions.
Alright, so you make it to the barracks. There are a bunch of guards out front and a bunch stationed on the roof, armed with crossbows, but the guards quickly, noticing you, will motion you over. They say, oh, we're glad you're alright, Misfits. What's the situation out there? Things seem quiet for the moment.
Seems like the townfolk are fortifying the marketplace.
He says, in Blackwater, is his estate still secure, or did they take it?
It's very well defended.
Oh, it's good to hear. At least we still have mercenary allies to help. And who are these people?
Yeah,
Points to the prisoners.
I'll go to the 3 humans and be like, these are some of the Blood Hand we had ended up catching, and I'm releasing them to you. Well, this one, I'll point to the elf half of whatever, is Oliver's prisoner, so you'll have to ask him.
Wait, which one?
The Master Thief?
The
elf?
Master
half
Thief.
elf?
Oh, okay. So one of the guards like walks up to one of the prisoners, just punches him in the stomach. It's like, Bloodhand scum, and the guy falls on the ground. Ugh. He says, what?
No, I was gonna say I mean, okay, but maybe like dial it back a little because they were incarcerated when the whole thing went down, so entirely not their fault.
Says it's all their fault. Let's get them down below into the prisons. So
that's
you're
as much saying. That's like saying it's all the town guard's fault for not being able to stop them or catch them beforehand. You know, it's kind of you can blame everyone.
give me a persuasion at disadvantage.
It's gonna be a 22. I can't go lower than a 22.
He says, I don't like what you're implying. And he just grabs the guy and basically grabs them all and drags them down. The Master Thief is going to say...
20.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to like your argument, but he might not, like, yell at you. The master thief would say, "Whoa, we have a deal, right? I'm not going with them."
You had a
You're
deal
entirely
with
right.
him.
We have a deal. We have a deal. Like, the deal still stands. Trust me, I know what the deal was.
So you're going to tell them not to take the master thief to the prison?
You know, Damien wasn't there when the deal was made. That's Oliver's prisoner.
He said he's my prisoner, and they're taking the 3 bloodhounds, and I was like, this one's specifically mine, so I'll decide what happens then.
Kind of looks at you a little confused. He says, "Isn't he one of the Bloodhand? I mean, I feel like it's dangerous to just have him walking around. He should be in a cage."
Oh, he's not going to be
I-
walking around. In fairness, I was going to walk him to his own private cell, to be honest.
You know, I'll just speak up like, you dare question our motives?
Give me a persuasion check.
Like, our motives, our own security, our, what's the word for, like, competence? Oh,
Ooh.
lucky.
Another lucky, alright.
That's my last lucky.
D20. He says, well, I mean, I just want what's best for the town, friend. We all do. If you know what you're doing, that's fine. And he just kind of nods and lets you keep the guy.
Well, I was going to walk my guy down to the cell and put him in his own cell.
So
with them.
as you're walking him down, he says, "Hey, what are you doing? I thought we had a deal.
We do.
I thought you were going to let me go."
I am.
Alright, so what, you walk him downstairs and put him in his own cell?
I'm walking him down into the cell, open his cell, and then go, there you are. I'm letting you go into your own cell.
You lying
Word
piece of shit. And he just, like,
I
leans
didn't
against
lie.
the inside of the bars. And he smiles at
didn't
you,
lie.
and he says, "I'll be coming for you. Don't worry. No one betrays me."
I didn't betray you. I said I'd let you go. I'm letting you go.
He
You're
just
the one who failed to ask where or when.
leans there smiling at you.
Not my fault.
I'll lean over to Walnut and I'll ask, is that why the stories say never listen to a fae?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. I like that. You gotta be careful what you gotta listen to the exact words.
All right. Well, he seems to be plotting his revenge. He's just standing there now.
Besides, if I'm honest, there's something else planned for you, so don't worry. I'll be seeing you again anyway. I've got to talk to you more about what happened to you at Blackwater Estate, so, you're good.
He doesn't say anything. All right. So what is the group gonna do?
You want to go see the mayor?
Tell her what, that we have prisoners?
I was more thinking the whole Blackwater's siphoning off Christmas energy.
Yeah, actually, hold on.
I mean-
Like, I'll grab everyone. Like Oliver, Walnut, Shock and Mighty,
Yeah.
and like I'll huddle them close in like a private area.
Wait. If you want to have a private word, I can just ritual cast. I recently learned, which is Liamon's tiny hut, and no one can hear us.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's
Cool.
better.
Give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. Ritual cast Liamon's tiny hut.
Right in the middle of the police station.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a private word. We're having a
So-
private discussion. Don't listen.
You kind of like kneel down in the lobby and start spreading the the magics around. Everyone's like, "What is going on?" And a moment later, a little forest hut appears, and a bunch of people start clapping. Like, "Oh, that was neat."
Tell them I said thank you. I can't leave.
The opaque. Oh yeah, I guess you're inside it when it appears.
It means I can't say it. Tell them I said thank you.
And I think they can't hear inside it either, right?
No, they can't hear. I'm shouting to Damien
Wait.
Walnut. Tell
Yeah.
them I said thank you.
We're allowed to exit enter.
Yeah. Well, I assume he gave you permission.
All right.
You guys
I'll
can,
take a
like-
quick step outside. he says thank you and tips would be appreciated. And then I'll walk back
A
inside.
couple of copper pieces are thrown down.
I didn't think of that.
Uh,
I can't hear.
I'm like, yeah, that's what Oliver would say. I'm like, yeah, okay. Then I walk back inside.
Shock says, as he like walks in, he's a bit theatrical. I mean, couldn't we have just walked outside and spoken? Melody says,
Oh, I'm
"Hush,
sorry.
Shock. Let him have his pageantry." He smiles.
I'm sorry, is the magical dome that keeps us safe and makes it so that nobody can hear us a problem for you?
Shock sighs. I should just not talk to you.
Like, I'll remember that when we're out in the middle of the woods and I make this thing. It's like, oh no, we can't sleep in my hut that keeps us nice and warm. You have to sleep outside in the rain and the cold. Remember that?
Melody whispers, "Don't antagonize him. He'll just keep sassing you." And he says, "I didn't mean to antagonize. I was just asking." You are right, Oliver. My apologies for questioning your magics.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate a man who knows when they're wrong.
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
Alright. The reason I wanted to talk to all you guys. Like, I know you guys are all new. Walnut, Oliver, Melody. But the very night that Chalk and I met in Highguard, we had come across a person who is no longer travels with us by the name of Crow. He had no memory of his past, but he had a note on him that I just written off until what happened earlier today. In
What
his
did the
note-
note say? Melody says. So Shock's like, "Hush, she's getting to it." She gives him a pouty face.
In this note, it says, "In the grips of the Shadow Lord, it is imperative that you reach Lord Blackwater, but don't." And then the note cuts off there. Have either of you heard of a Shadow Lord?
Shock shrugs. He says, "Bit of a theatrical name. I never heard of such a person. Is this like some sort of guild master, like of a thieves guild?" That's what it sounds like. Melody says, "Shadow Lord. Why does that sound familiar to me?" She makes a history check. She says, "No, I can't say I've heard of him, or her, or whatever it is." So-
you're a learned person. Have you heard of this before?
Remind me, Walnut, do you come from the Feywild?
Yes, I mean, I didn't start out that way, but since I was young, I traveled with my friend in the Feywild.
Do you have history?
I have arcane, no history.
Give me an Arcana check. Actually, you might know something about this. Alright, maybe not. So, Oliver...
I got 22 on history.
Yeah. You seem to remember something from the 12th cycle during the Therian Empire of some kind of powerful being that the Therians fought against and managed to entrap. Known as the Shadow Lord.
You know, that's pretty weird because that name was like, it's from like, if I remember right, the 12th cycle. Like, he fought like the Therian Dwarven Empire and they trapped him.
12th cycle? As in before the last cataclysm?
Yes, that's what cycle means. Did you not have an education?
I should just not talk to him.
Does this line up?
It's not a bad thing if you're not educated. You're very practical. I do understand. Like, not everybody can afford to have a first-class education like I did.
Shock forces a smile.
Like,
Sorry,
does
what?
Does this timeline line up with what happened with Isaac?
What about Isaac?
Like, does the story that Oliver's telling me about the Therian Empire catching the Shadow Lord, does that happen at the same time frame as the destruction of Isaac?
No, Isaac was built during the 13th cycle, during the establishment of the Teruvian Empire. So what happened to Isaac happened much more recently, and it was like 100 years ago, whereas what he's talking about would have been more like 1,000 years ago.
Okay, so there's no connection
No,
that we know of.
not that you know of.
Okay. Well, that's a bit strange. What? It says this note says in the grips of the Shadow Lord. What do you think that means?
Well, it kind of depends on how it was spelt. Like again, it kind of comes down to the grammar of the letter. Was there a comma after in the grips of the Shadow Lord, or was it like in the grips of the Shadow Lord, Damien or Galen Blackwater? Like, was it saying that Blackwater's in grips of the Shadow Lord, or was it saying the Shadow Lord's back and Blackwater's going to help, or what?
And the note says that to reach Blackwater, and I'm curious about the how it abruptly ends. Like reach Lord Blackwater, but don't. It just cuts off right there.
So I'll say, Walnut, with this conversation, give me another Arcana check. Now that you've heard some more. Alright. So being from the Feywild...
I'm gonna give you Bardic Inspiration.
Well, I don't know if you would know he's making a check in his head.
Okay.
He's thinking about
Okay.
it. Could I justify that? Maybe in general, you're like humming a little tunes. Sure, I'll say you can give him a bardic inspiration.
I'll say, knowing me, I'm probably like just humming a little melody. Just, you know, like when you've got a song stuck in your head.
Yeah. All right.
D8.
8?
Yeah, D8.
Yeah, D8.
23. Yeah, so you you traveled in the Feywild for a little while. I don't think you were part of any of the major courts. You were more of like a traveler.
Yeah.
But you probably had heard some whispers of these huge swaths of corruption that had been gripping certain parts of the Feywild. The corruption you remember had something to do with necrotic energy and something called void energy, which sounds like what kind of what they're talking about. Like from what they've said about the Shadow Lord, it sounds like something that might be, related to that.
I convey that, being like, I don't know what they're doing about it in the Feywild, but it was definitely serious business. Real ruckus in the Fey.
Melody
Could
thinks.
be related.
Melody thinks for a second. She says, "Oh, the Feywild. It's an exciting group of people. Never dreamed of even of ever going to such a place. But yeah, if there's corruptions there that are related to the Shadow Lord, do you know if those corruptions, like, could they control people, or is this more like the land was corrupted?" She asks you, Walnut.
Do I recall anything about it?
It was more like the land was corrupted.
Okay, more the land. Like, yeah.
She says, that might not be as much of a connection then.
You know what? I
But
think that
it
coincides. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, but it's not as much as known though. But I don't know a lot, but not much known about it. So just because it corrupts the land doesn't mean it can't corrupt people for a long period of time. Maybe if they're there for extended periods of time in the corruption.
You know what? You bring up an interesting point there. Oliver, do you remember when we were in the caves of those druids? With all that necrotic energy affecting those Ankh eggs and the Umbra Hulk?
Yeah, I remember when my dancing lights kept getting snapped out.
Yeah, do you think it's the same thing, maybe?
I mean, the problem is you don't know what the source of a necrotic energy is. Like, it could be related, it might not be. There's not a guarantee it is. There's not a thing saying it's not. So.
Well, it did emit from these crystals. I reach into the bag of holding and pull them out.
Is this the first time Walnut has seen this crystal?
Probably.
Yeah.
Alright, so you actually know what this is. Something called a soul crystal. Basically, it is being an artificer, long ago, there were these amazing machines powered by something known as arcane crystals. The ability to make the arcane crystals, the methods, were lost during basically throughout the cycles, like through the ages. And these crystals, basically these shadow crystals or soul crystals, are the two names for them, are kind of imitations of arcane crystals, but instead of using like swooths of arcane energy, they use life force. So you know these are made by killing things, mostly humanoids. Like basically draining the life from mass numbers of humanoids and powering this crystal, which can be used to power those ancient devices I was talking about. But yeah, like it would depend on your alignment, but definitely if you were a good person, like seeing one of these is basically knowing that hundreds of people died to make it.
Yeah, I convey that. I'm like, where did you get? You didn't make it, did you? Don't think you know how to.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you assume the methods for making the soul crystals are still known by some dark practitioners, but yeah, the methods for making the original arcane crystals have long been lost, at least from what you know.
Careful about ever showing that to somebody.
Why?
What are they? I put them away. You're like,
Yeah.
what are they?
It just just explain what you explain.
Okay. Yeah.
So it gives you a quick synopsis. Melody says that's
Yeah.
terrible. These crystals represent mass death.
Yeah. Is there a correlation to size and the number, or?
So a fully charged crystal could probably be about 500 to probably about 500 lives, humanoid lives. Like a weaker one might be around, like the weakest one is still like 50-ish people.
Okay.
It's hard to tell their charge. Basically, like the intensity of the. If you as an artificer, you might actually be able to determine that. I'll say with your knowledge of these power sources, but most people couldn't. Do you want to try to determine how many are in this crystal? Give me an Arcana check, DC 15. You would guess this crystal is almost fully charged, which is probably about 400 or so people.
Say that.
We have two.
Melody,
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, I was
You
like,
have
oh
two?
my god.
Oh my god. If you want to look at
How many
this,
souls are in the second one?
Oh yeah.
which one was the
Or-
second one? Where did you get it?
We got the first one from, was it Zagreus Crypt or something? Where we
Where'd you?
found the gauntlet of ogre power.
That crypt. Where'd you get the second one? Because maybe I just told you the second one.
And the second one was right after we killed the Shadow Hulk.
Yeah, so the one with the Shadow Hulk is the one with 400. The crypt one, you would guess, is about 100.
Feel bad. Feel very, very bad.
Melody
Why?
nods.
It's
She
not
says, "This is awful. These are terrible creations. I almost feel like we should destroy them." Shock says that.
No.
These were
That's
destroyed before we found them, and Roger was able to repair them to prevent the necrotic energies from leaking out of these crystals. So I highly advise against destroying them.
Shock nods. He says, "Yes, pragmatically, we can't bring back the people who died to make these crystals. Destroying them would do no one good." She says, "Still, it's gruesome. It's terrible." All right.
I mean, let's be completely honest. Pretend the 500 people that died were very horrible people, and you're fine.
She says, "But that's not how it works. They couldn't all have been horrible."
Do you know?
Man.
Maybe they were all sentenced to execution, and this is just their version of an execution. I mean, it would be very environmentally friendly.
She says,
Yeah, but even if they were executed, I mean, trapping their soul, their life in a crystal, like that's
So you would know that the life energy left behind isn't intelligence. Like they're dead, but basically it's just the energy from their life. So it's not like their consciousness is in there.
I would agree with that, but or not. I mean, that's fine. It was just more the point, like
Yeah.
just to be like
Do you think
rest in
that's
peace
what
type of
Galen was trying to recreate with those members over there?
You know, he was. There was a lot of necrotic drain from them. Maybe.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
problem you get there though is, firstly, he'd have to understand how to do it, which means that he's discovered the knowledge, and secondly, he wasn't trying to transfer souls because, as we've just found out, the people have to be dead, and he's got to
Well,
have a lot.
unless he's found out a way to do it slowly. I mean, maybe I'm just speculating here because I don't know enough about this stuff. That you can just get 500 souls and boom, you create a crystal, or you could get 10 people and every day slowly build it up. Maybe it would take a year, maybe a couple years of just constantly trying to sap somebody's life
Yeah, but
force over time, and then maybe every
with,
day it replenishes like our blood, and then
yeah, but
eventually you have enough.
considering how
Yeah,
drained they look after just a day, I don't see that working because they looked visibly dead
I mean, I'm
from
with
being
you,
drained once.
but if you're unable to get 500 souls, or it would be suspicious to kill 500 people. Maybe I'm just saying, maybe he's trying to figure out a way. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he's just experimenting too. Like, well, what if I
You're
drain them
experimenting
today?
on you're experimenting on draining the life of people. I'm
Bad
into
people,
experimentation, but that's a line even I wouldn't cross. Well,
but they're
no.
bad people, right? They're prisoners. They're bad people.
Again, you've just made the argument that when I said that, you were just like,
Yeah.
no, it's still life. You're like, it's not just if you're going to be against it, be it like I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just
No,
saying
what I'm
it's a
saying
really
is like
weird.
That's what I was reinforcing. What you were saying, like it's still
Oh no,
bad
what
for them,
like
but
I don't feel bad for them. I just
right, it's
find it
just
really dodgy from him.
oh sure.
Shock.
I'm not bothered that it was being done to them. I'm just finding it really suspicious from him.
Yeah.
You know, what if we look at this note in a different light? It says,
Okay.
"In the grips of the Shadow Lord, reach Lord Blackwater." That we can interpret that as he is being controlled by the Shadow Lord, perhaps, and he's in there, and we have to bring him out or something.
Wait. The beginning of the letter, is it like this is like when you have a letter and you start to write, is it like that, or does it look like it was torn out of something and like we're missing the first word of
that's
that
a good point.
sentence?
Looks like it was torn out of something.
Okay.
So it's missing. It's missing a beginning and an end. Shock would say, "Well, it's this is all good information. Though the problem at hand is more the blood hand than Lord Blackwater."
You say that, but if Blackwater's offering up people's souls as sacrifice, I kind of would disagree.
The other point.
Perhaps, but yeah.
Like, as much as I don't like the Blood Hand, they're not trying to sacrifice people to make a magical battery.
Well, what's our plan then? I mean, the the Blood Hand already think us enemies. I don't think we can go to them for help, right?
Yeah, what we did with the Blood Hand. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can.
It's gonna be like, what we did to the Blood Hand is already done and dealt with. Like, we need to continue what we started. They already attacked the village as well. We can't stop now.
Well, do we know what they're after? Melody says, and Shock would say, I think they're after the key that Blackwater holds, yes?
Correct.
So far, I don't think they've gotten it. So what are we going to do?
Why do they want the key again? Or do we know?
Something about an ancient vault in Isaac. Untold riches of ancient times.
Well, yeah, from what Orcard told you, the Hobgoblin Warlord, the third faction, there are 3 of these keys, one held by Orcard, one by Blackwater, and one by Sithril, because originally they were working together, finding the keys for Blackwater, but then supposedly Blackwater betrayed Orcard, and now, like, that's why Orcard attacked the city initially, is
But
what
we have
Shock
his
says.
piece now, so,
Yeah, that was some good convincing for him to let us have that.
You have one of the 3 keys. Blackwater's got the other.
Yeah, so
One hand, that's the last.
Shock will say, from what we've heard anyway, these keys open some kind of ancient Tharian vault in Issac that's supposed to have like magics from a different cycle, like very powerful stuff that's not available anymore. Like, yeah, old technology and magic. And actually, you might know something about this, Walnut. History check. DC 20. Oh, well, never mind.
You're up. Yeah, it's only.
Give me an Arcana DC 20. Oh, good roll. So there is a legend of a vault. Actually, now that they're saying this, of a vault buried somewhere deep in under Issac. Basically, during the Tharian Empire, that area was a huge city, and the dwarves had some old technologies they stashed away that are supposedly from Nightweather, the first city.
Okay.
Things,
my
things like
friend-
I was telling you about, like the artifacts that could be powered by these power sources. Nightweather is a whole other thing. It's like supposed to be the first city that is unaffected by the cataclysms.
Oh, damn.
I
And these items, these keys are a ring, an amulet, and a dagger. And we have the dagger, and Galen has the ring. Presumably wearing it.
So Blackwater's got the amulet.
No, Blackwater's got the ring.
Oh, he's got the ring.
I think Sithril has the amulet, is what Orcard says. Or sorry, yeah, what Orcard told us, Shock says.
And where is he?
Orcard, he is camped out about 3 days northwest of here. He was the one who initially attacked the town, and we convinced him to stop. And he kind of told us why he was attacking the town, which had to do with Blackwater hiring, then betraying him. As Shock gives you a lore dump.
Yeah.
Lord time, Lord session.
Yeah, backstory. Exposition. Yeah, he says, I mean, I almost feel like this vault shouldn't be open then, with the types of dangerous magics and powerful energies that could be within. And this is Melody. She would say that stuff was probably sealed away for a reason. If what Walnut is saying is true, then this stuff could be like magics from the first city, which is beyond anything we've seen. In the hands of someone like Blackwater. Go ahead.
Yeah, perhaps it was sealed to rebuild after the cataclysm, but presumably the Therians didn't survive. At least the ones in that area.
Fine if we had the means to make arcane crystals, but if the only way to power those devices are soul crystals.
Maybe we should find out how you make arcane crystals before we start saying we need to make them, because
so what I was getting at is not that we should make them, is that if the alternative is to sacrifice 500 lives to power said device, once the device is unlocked, people will then begin really sacrificing lives to make these crystals. That's what I'm worried about.
And actually saying that might trigger a history check, DC 20. I'll say 15. If anyone has history trained. So actually, him saying that, you remember there was a scandal in the Tharian Empire where some of the Rune Masters were secretly working with the Shadow Lord to make these crystals to do exactly that, power devices, like killing people secretly to power up these dark crystals, because obviously the Therians didn't know how to make arcane crystals.
Yeah. So then, yes. Right.
Would
That.
would I know about what I know this from playing Quentin in the other game, but would I know about what followed after that or no?
I'm gonna say no. You only know snippets.
Okay, cool. Just so I know.
Yeah, so you just remember reading about these corrupt rune master wizards who had been working with the Shadow Lord, kind of creating these powerful shadow crystals to help power artifacts from the Night Weather era, or the Night Weather City.
Okay.
But obviously something happened at some point, because from what you also remember, the Therian Empire turned against the Shadow Lord.
Okay, so firstly, I'll tell everybody that about the whole.
So basically, some rune masters decided making shadow crystals was a good idea, and did it. But then something had to have changed because they turned against him.
Was it all the Therians, or was it a civil war?
I don't know.
That type of thing.
Oh, you're cutting out, Walnut. What did you say?
Oh, I said I don't know enough about that. I'm not a.
I mean, I've traveled a lot, but I know bits. All I know is the Therian Empire fell, and I know that they were working with the Shadow Lord to make shadow crystals. And I mean, logically, if you're following the rules, something has to have changed with a massive moral shift, which in a society I can't see happening. Or something happened that made all the people that were working with him either die or turn against him. I don't know, but
Right?
Maybe
Made enough
they were
crystals.
turned into shadow crystals, yeah.
Made enough. They didn't need more. Maybe.
they learned how to make them without needing his help. Well, I don't know, but
Yeah.
all I know is they turned against him. But the problem that I'm having here is if that knowledge was learnt once, there's every chance it's been learnt again. And if Blackwater is trying to make shadow crystals,
Yeah.
effectively, we have another beginning Shadow Lord here, which is a whole different story. Which is a whole different
Right.
thing to be dealing with.
Yeah.
So at this point, there were a bunch of people in the lobby, like poking at the weird tiny hut, and like whispers
Tell them to
outside.
stop poking my spear, please.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah,
I'm telling them to. I can't do anything.
Yeah, I popped my head out. Hi, excuse me. We're having a very important meeting. Could you please refrain from poking the sphere?
The guard says, yeah, are you guys just gonna stay here all day, or?
We won't be much longer. Thank you for your patience. And then just pop back in.
Okay. Alright, so now they're just like standing out there whispering. Alright, so yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, here's the thing. Do we want to tell the mayor at least what Blackwater's been doing with the prisoners?
I think the mayor and Captain Grobe should know.
Alright,
So-
go get them and bring. Okay, right.
I just wanted to say one more thing. Cause I'm new to here. They're not the mayor and Blackwater. They're not working together or any suspicions, because we tell the mayor, then Blackwater, then we think the mayor's on our side, and now Blackwater. Then
Shock would say, well, this town certainly benefits from Lord Blackwater. I wouldn't be surprised if the mayor would take his side over ours. I mean, we're just visitors here, but Blackwater basically funds most of the things that happen in this frontier town.
which I'm more leaning to, are they in like cahoots, and we just
Oh, I don't know about that, Shock. Says I doubt it,
okay.
but I don't know.
Okay.
He says,
Well-
I wouldn't be surprised if her opinion would be to favor Blackwater over us. So
Well, that's fine.
She is the type of person who probably doesn't like the idea that Blackwater is using the people in this town and paying them in a way of a compensation type thing, because didn't like the Bloodhand being here, and the Bloodhand were giving people things, but were still using them and taking advantage. So, if we can word it right,
He says, but we have no
might-
proof that Blackwater has been experimenting on people, do we? I mean, we know he's been experimenting on the Bloodhand, but we don't know if he's been doing anything to the townsfolk.
That's true.
well, this is what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask if anybody's been gone missing.
Hmm.
I have people gone missing because, let's be completely honest, a siege done by the Iron Tide is a perfect cover to be kidnapping people and sacrificing them to make a magic battery.
Melody says, well, I can tell you for a fact that people are missing. I was helping out refugees, and many of the families lost loved ones, assuming that they disappeared trying to get from the outer farmlands back to town.
We
And
already
we have no.
saved as many as we could from the Iron Tide. We bought all our people back.
She says,
there's
but
no
we
way
don't
of
have
knowing.
proof that these people were actually taken by Blackwater. That would just be us speculating. They could have just been killed by the Iron Tide soldiers. I mean, these things happen in war. I've seen it a lot.
You're right. There's no guarantee that they were offered up as magical sacrifice batteries. The fact of the matter is, we're not going to get proof until we catch him doing it. We can prove it to her. I don't think you're going to get proof to prove it. I think there's a bit of it that's going to have to come down to a leap of faith. It's if you think she would turn against him. That's the question.
How do we feel about getting the Phoenix Guild involved?
The wizards?
They deal in magical anomalies.
I would love to if I thought
they're weeks
Blackwater
away.
could talk his way out of it.
Yeah, and Shock would say they're weeks away from us too. Like, how would we even get in touch with them? I mean, maybe.
But our friend Doru used to work for the Phoenix Guild.
It's true, actually. Maybe. I don't know if they'd send anyone right away. I guess. How does this relate to what we're doing about the Bloodhand? Because they are still a threat to the town.
That's true. We should probably deal with the Bloodhand first.
I think that should be our main goal, unless we plan to try to win back the favor of the Bloodhand. But are you willing to turn against your cousin?
Well, we already planned to set up an ambush on the road with Orchard.
Okay. I think we're going to have to do this. Commit to ending the Bloodhand and then deal with Blackwater afterwards.
We can't let those necrotic experimentations continue. They're vile.
Maybe we could just ask Lord Blackwater about it. Perhaps he has an explanation, Melody says.
I'm sorry. Did you see how he approached us with his mercenaries when we brought the prisoners out?
She nods. She says, but he did let us take them. I mean, it's obvious he's doing the experiments, but maybe it's nothing as sinister as making soul crystals.
Let me run through that interaction for you. Minor illusion myself to do the face thing, like a Snapchat filter of Gale and Blackburn, and just go, yes, what can I help you with? Hi, we've come because we think you're sacrificing or offering up people and using necrotic magics to suck the life out of people. Is this true? No, of course it's not. How could you think of such thing? I would never do such a horrible thing. What proof do you have? Oh, we have none except for the word of Bloodhand members. They're clearly lying.
But she says, well, we have you all, and you're the ones that said you believe they had been trained.
Believing they've been trained and proving it are very different.
And she shrugs. She says, well, it was just a suggestion. Maybe coming from someone like Damien here, his cousin, maybe he'd be more willing to reveal. But like I said, it was just a thought.
What do I know about Galen?
I mean, so...
Besides that he's a recluse, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know that he's been more, or I should say less of a recluse recently, since like about like a year or so ago, he like became a little bit more outgoing.
Oh, that's weird.
But yeah, I mean, what exactly do you want to know about him?
Like within the family, does he have any like?
So, all right, I can give you guys a bit of
enemies,
a lore dump on Galen Blackwater. So you know his mom, Patience Blackwater, holds the second seat on the Council of Teruvia, which is the second most powerful position in the land. The Council of Teruvia has 7 seats held by the 7 most powerful families. You know that he is I think it's 6th brother in the line, and he was kind of sent here to keep him occupied and out of the way because he's not very interested in politics or diplomacy or persuasion. He's more of a historian and a what's it called? Has an interest in the arcane. So he does a lot of projects where he explores old ruins and studies ancient magics. And he's been doing that here most of his life. He also gets a lot of money from his family, which he uses to build up his estate, to pay for researchers, to pay for archaeological digs, and to help fund the town. And like I said, about a year ago, he started getting a little bit more outgoing than you're used to, which you figured might have just been him coming out of his shell. But yeah, maybe it was something more sinister. You don't know.
What do we know about the first and third seats of the Empire?
God, you're gonna make me go look up
Do we know
lore.
anything?
How old is Galen?
Galen's he's getting close to 40.
Right. So if he's my cousin, that means his mom's my aunt.
Yeah, so that would be the sister of Patience, which I didn't have, but sure, we can say she has a sister.
Or brother.
Either way,
Or
yeah.
it could be second cousins.
Sibling.
It could be one of his brothers. Or it could be his uncle.
It's fine. I didn't plan out Patience's brothers and sisters, so we can say obviously she had one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Someone else in the family.
When I asked about the first or third, I just meant broad strokes. Are they good family, bad family, money-grabbing family, trustworthy
Oh,
family?
I mean they're noble, so it's all politics. They're all. I don't want to say terrible people, but they're all politicians. So take that. I mean, there's some good, there's some bad. Like I forget
Like-
the first family name. I could probably look that up really quick.
Like, dear auntie, why do you fund Galen and not your favorite nephew, Damien Blackheart? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know how well that would go over.
Yeah, like I'm more asking like, does he have any grudges against any of his siblings or vice versa?
I don't think there's. I mean, there's squabbles in the family, but nothing all that like dangerous or deadly. Everyone pretty much gets along, other than competitiveness.
Right.
Shock says, "All right. Well, we've been talking in this bubble for quite some time. What's our plan?"
Oh yes. Did we still want to get the mayor involved, or should we save that for another day?
I say we tell
I
them,
would.
but I'm
I
pretty
think wait
partial.
until you have proof,
Okay,
or at least more
Okay.
proof,
more proof. Okay,
not just our word.
yeah. I think,
What do
yeah,
you-
I would agree with that. We don't have enough. That anything else after that just makes it.
Shock will nod. He'll say, "Yeah, making accusations against Blackwater without proof could be bad for us. It's always bad
at
to
least we
accuse a
know.
noble if you don't have anything to back it up."
True.
Keep
Oliver,
an eye on him. Look for what? Yes, sorry.
I know that you're trying to convince his mercenaries to join us in the inevitable ambush. How's that coming
Yeah.
along?
I mean, it's coming. Like it's not a quick thing. It's the thing that takes time. Like you want me? Like I'm persuasive and charming. But even for me, you're wanting me to try and go against the mercenary's nature. Like, it takes a lot of work. I'm doing the best I can, but it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah,
Right.
we might want to consider even abandoning such ideas, Shock says. All it takes is one of his mercenaries to tell him what we're planning. And then that will
I mean, I'm not
ruin...
telling them outright. I'm not telling them outright we're going to betray him. I'm just being very charming, persuasive, and getting them to like me more and trust me more, so that when the time comes for us to stab him in the back, they're more likely to listen to me when I ask them to come side with us.
He
That's
says,
smart.
alright.
Never side with the losing side.
Oh,
Alright, so yeah, what
but
do you guys want to do?
can I do a quick thing? I want to do a minor illusion. I want to create an image of Blackwater a day or two ago, an image of Blackwater from what we've just seen, and see if, like, do a compare and contrast. Does he look younger, more rejuvenated, more reinvigorated?
What are you making this image based off of?
Well, when we saw Blackwater prior, we're like creating like an image. It's like a bit like a photo, creating an image of what Blackwater looked like. Not the time we saw him before we gave him the prisoners, to what he looked like after he'd life drained them.
I mean,
Seeing if
you don't need an illusion for that. You could just think and try to figure it out. Give me an intelligence check if you're mentioning that. Anyone who wants can make the check.
Can it be charisma?
No, it would be intelligence. It would be
thank God for
memory.
my headband.
So let's see. Walnut, do you have medicine by any chance?
No.
Okay. Well, you
As for perception, survival, deception.
okay. So with the 27, because you met Blackwater a few times, you don't think he looked more rejuvenated. You actually think the opposite. He looks almost like he's kind of more tired, and maybe like less rejuvenated since you first met him a few days ago.
He seems exhausted than when I first got here. But I just want to say that a lot's been going on, right? I don't want to make that
Well,
sound suspicious or anything, but last night we had a big battle and a lot,
Melody,
We
yeah.
we had the big battle. He stayed in his estate. He did fuck all.
I agree with that, but it's been a very stressful time.
Yes,
I don't want to think.
if you have a bunch of people trying to break into your house and kill you, whether or not you're involved in the fighting, you're still going to be stressed from it.
Yeah, and I suppose draining people doesn't help.
She nods. She says, if he was draining people, perhaps that could have had an effect on him too.
Alright, fine. We
Make me
need to
wish.
do, like,
I'm still exhausted from the battle last night.
Yeah, it's been a
Look,
tough few days,
Blackwater-
Shock says.
Blackwater's going to be something we have to deal with long term. We need to start
Yeah,
worrying about. But I think we need to deal with Bloodhand immediately because they're not going away.
Shock
Do you
says,
want to
that's what I've been
start?
saying.
Do you want to start right now, or do you want to start tonight?
You need a rest.
Well, we can't
Tomorrow
take
morning, then.
we can't take too long, Shock says. The Bloodhand are in hiding right now, but they could pop up again and strike. The longer we take, the more lives we put at risk.
Well, Galen said he was going to send some scouts. How about we start tomorrow, and we can meet with him and see if his scouts have anything to report.
Has anyone seen Iara? Has she been able to get anything done?
So was last night. Well, it's Roderick last night.
Alright, so I guess yeah, what's the group gonna do? Are you gonna just try to pass a day to let you recover from your exhaustion? Is that the plan?
I'm cool with that.
yeah.
We could do
I
it down.
say yes.
Uh,
I'll go and tell the mayor that she's got prisoners and that maybe start considering what she'd like to do with them, but before she decides anything, just to have a think about it.
All right,
We'll come
so
towards her after we talk and stuff.
if you're gonna go talk to the mayor, we can do that encounter really quick.
Okay.
So you go out of your bubble. Once again, the people give you a small round of applause as the bubble poofs out. You head over to the mayor. She says, Misfits, come in. She motions for you to enter her office. She says, I've heard a little bit about what was going on. I was hoping I'd hear from you again. She says, I'm glad you were able to help fight back the Blood Hand in the marketplace.
Speaking of which, we got more prisoners for you.
Says, yeah, I heard about that too. It's good we were able to catch some of the people who caused this horrible riot. Most likely we'll have the nobles put them on trial and probably hang them in the square.
Wait, actually, before we do that, quick thing. Firstly, they weren't involved in the riot.
Oh?
They were being held prisoner by Blackwater at the time, so not really involved. They were out for the whole thing because we took them prisoner and then we carried on. And yeah, so they weren't really involved in it.
Says, well, they're part of the Blood Hand. They must be involved somehow. I mean, how do we know they didn't help plan it before they were captured?
That's true. And I think
Look,
it'll put some of the citizens' minds to ease, seeing them get hanged.
I don't want to get into the argument I had with the guard that was basically saying that how everyone's at fault because if they weren't part of the Blood Hand, it wouldn't have happened. If the town's guard had done their job properly, the Blood Hand wouldn't have been here. Blah, blah, blah. We can blame everyone. That's great. Maybe just don't. Maybe hold up on judging them, and I don't think leave it up to the nobles. I think it should be a public debate.
She gives you a weird look. She says, the justice system is clear. The noble house of the town, along with the mayor, or along with the government, decide the fate of prisoners. This isn't something that's discussed with the townsfolk.
Look, for reasons I can't get into right now, Galen can't be involved.
She says, but I mean, his mother is Patience Blackwater, literally the second seat of the Empire. I mean, he is, by law, he is supposed to be part of the judicial process. That's the rule of the Teruvian Empire.
Yeah, I'll speak up. Well,
she says, "Oh, well, that's true. We do have Damien here as well. So
yeah, since I own a plot of land here in Chaur, I guess that would, by law, make me a part of the judicial system as well, right?"
She nods. She says, "You're rarely here for this type of thing, but if you want to volunteer yourself, you could be part of it as well."
Yeah.
She says, I just assumed you had enough on your plate without having to worry about the justice system in town. Why do you care so much about these prisoners?"
It's hard to explain at the moment. Give us some time to finish eradicating the rest of the Blood Hand.
She says, of course. It's unlikely the trials will happen until that's taken care of anyway. She says everyone's too... the danger level's too high to worry about getting nobles together for a trial. So they'll be held until after this is all said and done.
Also, don't let them get transferred to Blackwater's estate under any circumstances.
Why would they go there?
He might feel like he's got a better defensive area, since he's the
She says, well, that would be a strange request from him, but I'll keep that in mind. He's never requested prisoners be brought from the barracks before.
If he does, just let him know that I wish for them to stay here.
I will give him your message. She seems a little confused, but just nods.
Hey, she keeps saying nobles, but there's only Galen, right?
And there's you. You and Galen are the two nobles of this town. the
Part
nobility.
of the same family, though.
Yeah, so usually trials are decided by the nobility and the judges. So, like, the town has judges who are part of the government, and they are kind of on like a basically like a jury. And like, yeah, one person like presents their defense, then there's like the accusations against them, and then it's considered by the jury, basically, the nobles and the judges.
I'll ask her if she knows the damages dealt to the city in the riot,
Well,
especially on Maplewood.
I mean, it's hard to say. There's been lots of looting and burning. From what I heard, the Maplewood was destroyed, and a bunch of the marketplace stalls were destroyed as well and looted, as well as, numerous houses burned to the ground. But we haven't been able to go out and assess because we're doing our best to hold down this place, and the people here stay protected.
Now, if there's wasn't a need for a caravan before, there is now to get all the timber and stone needed for repairs.
She sighs. She says, yeah, that's the next thing we have to consider once things are brought back under control. I would very much appreciate updates on what's going on with the Blood Hand, if you're able to find out.
Yes, we have scouts going into those tunnels today, and when they report back tomorrow, we'll get on it.
Excellent. Keep me posted, and I thank you again for all of the work you've done to help our small town. You could have left at any time, and obviously we don't have the money to pay you what we should pay you, but you continue to help us, and I will not forget that.
Of course.
All right. So why don't we do? Well, so you want to try to pass a day, and then go do something tomorrow?
Yes, just to get rid of the exhaustion.
All right. So just to warn you, passing time does have consequences. It's not like a video game. So you can do it, but if you pass too many days, things might happen. I'll just say that. All right.
As it should.
So why don't we do a 10-minute break, because we're about halfway through. People can stretch and use the restroom and anything else. Does that work for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my burger from earlier.
I'm gonna go get some water. All right, see you all in 10 minutes.
Do you intend?
All right. Is everyone back?
I'm back.
I am here.
All right. So we're attempting to pass a day. Hang on, let me check something.
Yeah, and then I was going to infuse some stuff too. So, Quentin, do you use
Yeah.
a rod, a staff, or a wand for your Eldritch Blast stuff? For your
No, I have an arcane focus.
Isn't that what a wand is?
No, you have options. You can do one staff or, but there's an actual like an arcane focus alternative thing where you can hit like anything else. But yeah, I use something like that. Yeah.
well, I'll just ask Lou. It's called my infusion is called Enhanced Arcane Focus. The item has to be a rod, a staff, or a wand.
Yeah.
Then you, while holding it, what he used is good enough as it counts.
Sorry, what did you say you use, Quentin?
I don't know. I just picked the arcane focus thing. I don't actually. Do I get it as? Is it my sword as a hex blade? Give me a second.
Oh, yeah, that could be. Then I would say no, if it is your sword.
Well, an arcane focus usually is like a some kind of thing like a rod, a staff, or a wand.
But sometimes it can.
I always-
There are exceptions.
Yeah, it doesn't say is my arcane focus as my weapon. I don't.
Like I know for clerics it
Uh,
can be like their amulet, right?
I don't know what I use. I just style it as a necklace, a symbol as a necklace thing. That's how I style it as. I don't know if it's right or not. Just how I style it.
Well, did you say you're using your sword though?
No, I don't. It doesn't. It's not a thing.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it might be. I think I have to take back to the blade. I'm not going far anything. Sorry.
And your ability says, David, that it specifically has to be a wand, staff, or a rod.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Well, that probably wouldn't work because I think his is
I would
meant
agree.
to be on something that you're using your hand to hold.
I would agree with that. Fine
Yeah.
with that.
So
All right, a few things.
You could switch over to something that that you'd hold in your hand if you want the ability. But yeah, if you're just if it's just like something you wear around your neck, then yeah.
So
Yeah. No.
I was going to infuse one item for each of you, and I have different infusions. One is enhance arcane focus. While holding this item, you gain +1 bonus to attack rolls. In addition, the creature ignores half cover when making spell attacks, but it has to be a rod, staff, or wand. I can do something called Boots of Winding Path. I chose while wearing these boots, a creature can teleport up to 15 feet as a bonus action to an unoccupied space that they've occupied before. So the creature
Nice.
must have occupied the space at some point during his current turn. So you can go forward and back. It was not really more for rogues. Go somewhere and then teleport back.
Yeah, it's a really good item.
What else did I choose? I have resistant armor. While wearing this armor, I have to choose one of the effects. But while wearing this armor, the creature has resistance to one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, necrotic, poison, psychic, radiant, thunder. But I just choose one.
Yeah, if we're dealing with the bloodhound, probably poison.
I can do that to either or both of your armors. What else? What else did I choose? Boots
Are
of
we
Winding
able to
Yeah.
take a day downtime?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we were gonna do it in the evening.
Oh, right.
To infuse, and then I have spell of refueling, but so those. Oh, and then radiant weapon. So, but this is radiant weapon is
What does that do?
that one is a magic weapon. So I think all these things have to be non-magical for me to infuse them. But the magic weapon gains +1 bonus to attack roll and damage roll. While holding it, the wielder can take a bonus action to cause it to shed bright light in 30-foot radius and dim light for another additional 30 feet. The wielder can extinguish the light as a bonus action. The weapon has 4 charges. As a reaction, immediately after being hit by an attack, the wielder can expend 1 charge and cause the attacker to be blinded until the end of the attacker's next turn unless the attacker succeeds on Constitution saving throw against your spell DC. The weapon regains 1d4 expended charges daily at dawn.
Yeah, but I think we're all using magical weapons right now.
Yeah. So any of those, yeah,
I'm
boots
good.
and winding. Okay, fair enough. Some of this
Thank
was
you.
more for the other members that are no longer with us. Oh well, one's just off for the day. Was that the rogue?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rogue is just off for today. He'll be back next week.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Fair enough. I will infuse no item.
So,
Maybe you can.
What
you
was
can
the
item.
ring one you were saying?
So the ring is what I made for Aurelia, and I can infuse it. I just have to go pick up a non-magical ring. That one allows you to regain, find it, a third or level spell. While wearing this ring, the creature can recover one expended spell slot as an action. The recovered spell slot can be third or lower level. Once used, the ring cannot be used until dawn.
If I
But-
could, I'd ask for that one. If
Oh,
I
sure.
could. If
Yeah, no. I'll just do it
Sound the
again.
wedding bells.
Yeah, sound the wedding bells. Yeah,
Hey, if you think I'm getting married in Chaur, I expect the whole book out the entirety of the capital.
yeah, I go just buy a basic ring and infuse it, and then during the, because I'll do it in the evening, and then you'll have to attune to it, so somewhere for a short
that's
rest is, yeah. Okay, there we go.
all right. So I am gonna pass some time. I assume the group is going back to the Darkwater Inn and just staying at their camp.
Oh, I'd like to do downtime.
All right. So the town is in a weird state right now. So what downtime are you doing? Because not all projects will be available.
My downtime is meeting with a merchant to start a caravan.
The merchants are probably not going to be interested in that right now, just because of the state the town is in. But it's definitely something you can work on in the future once things get back to normal.
All right.
I'm doing the whole friendlying with Blackwater's mercenaries if possible.
All right, so you're just spending time, that's kind of like carousing. So basically, do you have a project for that yet?
Yeah, I think there's one. I think I made one in the thing.
Yeah, I think you have. It says you started on the 21st.
Uh,
So I did.
So, yeah, you can put a day towards that. That's fine. And actually, for the caravan thing, do you have a project already?
Yeah, I'm 3 out of 5 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll say, like, at least for right now, you can't put a day towards that just because of how messed up everything is. Is there anything else you want to work on? Like a new project or a different project?
Could I make an order with a blacksmith maybe?
What do you mean make an order?
Like, I want to put in an order for a Master Rick longsword.
So the blacksmith of this town isn't all that skilled. You'd probably have to go to a capital or trade like with a private merchant to get something like that. Because you know it's a frontier town. They don't really make masterwork weapons here.
Okay, no, just a day resting.
All right. And anything for you, Walnut? Do you have a project?
Well, no project.
So if you want, you could start something like training. Well, I guess as a artificer, you have all the tools, but you could start learning a language. Like you can put time towards like trying to. I don't know what else is there doing, Char. You could do research at Blackwater's library.
Yeah. Oh well, I don't want to go to Blackwater's library. Or is this separate from his? Like this is his the library Blackwater.
Yeah, I mean it's his like his estate isn't off limits to you. You've been going there like
Oh, I know, but obviously he's.
what's his name? Oliver's going there for his project for the day.
Oh, fair enough. I'll
Could I learn a tool?
You can. So if you I think it's you pay 5 gold a day. It takes 1 work week It takes 10 work weeks, I believe, minus 1 per int modifier to learn a new tool. So do you have a...
Cheaper if someone in the party taught it to me?
You would still need to pay because you're basically paying for like materials and such.
Dang.
But if someone in the party did it, they would have to put a day towards downtime as well. Towards
Okay,
that.
never-
So, yeah. But you can just go like get someone in the town square to like help you out.
Okay, I think I'm gonna hold off on that for now.
Sure. So David, for your downtime project, it's going to cost you 50 gold up front, and you can hire up to, I think it's 6 helpers, which will give you a bonus on the check. Here, let me look up the rules for research real quick.
What is Yeah, okay. What does research give me with all this?
So research uncovers lore, which you can use for things like learning the recipes for magical items, learning about monsters, like specific weaknesses and strengths, learning about pieces of history, like getting more information on something like, say, the City of Nightweather or the vault, or basically like anything that you've heard of, you can learn more about it. And you basically spend lore. So depending on how well you roll, at the end of the week you do an intelligence check, and depending on the number you roll, you get a certain number of pieces of lore, which you can spend on like basically knowing things.
Okay.
So I think
Nice.
you can get up to 3 pieces if you roll really well.
Okay.
Most of the time, magical item recipes cost 3 pieces of lore to learn.
Okay.
Let me see. Here it is, downtime activities. And that is for research. There it is, research. So you can get up to a +6 bonus if you spend 300 extra gold, so it'd be 350 total. And that's basically you're hiring helpers to help you research.
We'll just do it myself.
Okay, so then just spend 50 gold right now and start the project. And yeah, after you put 5 days towards it, we make a roll.
Okay. Does this have to be consecutive, or it's just...
No, it doesn't have to be consecutive,
Okay.
but you do have to have access to a library to do this.
for each?
Or
Okay.
this library in particular.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can't finish this project at a different library. Well, actually, you're not using helpers, so maybe you can. I don't know. But yeah. It doesn't have to be consecutive. So you go to the Misfit sheet and just go to downtime projects, and that's where you can make the project. You have access to the sheet, I assume.
Yeah, I have it open.
Yeah, so one of them is downtime project activities. And if you guys finish projects, make sure you delete them from the sheet, just because you don't need old projects in there.
I'll start doing that.
Yeah, because I see there's still a lot of projects, and I don't think they're all active.
Especially the ones from...
Oh, what should be the start date?
The start date, and you can always look up the date in the journal. If you click on the calendar, I can look it up for you. It's the 23rd of fall. It's the start date. Yeah, if you go to the journal and go to important campaign info, one of them is calendar, and that should always reflect the current date and time. Yeah, it's windy here. I really hope I don't lose power.
You said go to journal, and then where was the next thing? Is that
important campaign
calendar.
info? Yeah, calendar, and that'll always tell you. I mean, you can ask me because maybe I need to update it, but I think currently it's at the current time.
Cool. Perfect.
And date.
So what about these with Drea assessing the Iron Tide? Do I delete that one since she's not part of the group anymore?
Who was Drea? Oh, that was the one who joined for a bit. Yeah, you could probably delete that.
Alright, I'm gonna delete that.
I don't think, unfortunately, Drea probably is not coming back.
And I think I already infiltrated the Blood Hand, so do I just delete that off as well?
Yeah, if you already... Or wait, which one? Oh,
Iara.
Iara? Do we want to keep that one? She's actually still working on that, so why don't you leave that on, just so we know what she's doing.
Alright, cool. Then
All right.
Melody's making us a potion.
Yeah, so the day is passing.
Today's the 23rd. She's been on that since the 20th.
So the day passes, no issue. Go ahead and spend upkeep for your camp, and each of you spend your personal upkeep costs, however you're living. The night passes, and it is now the 24th of fall
1, 2, 4.
at 8 a.m. What do you want to do? So long rest. Go ahead and wipe away an exhaustion level if you have it. Half your hit dice are recovered, and you do your infusions, David.
Nice. Okay.
Walnut.
And then
And-
Quentin can attune to the.
All right. Do you want to spend a short rest to attune, Quentin, in the morning?
Because a long rest is 8 hours, but were we taking a day?
Yes, but you
no,
need
that's
to spend a short rest to attune to something, which you get one short rest per day equal to your proficiency modifier. So at this level, I think that's 3 short rests. So
That's all right. I can hold off short resting until we do
Till
it
you
later
need
on.
it.
We don't need to short rest now.
yeah, during a short rest, you can change any of your attunements around. But yeah, you would have to spend a short rest to do that as one of the benefits. Because yeah, you can't just short rest from taking an hour. You actually have to use the resource.
And Melody makes us a potion.
Okay. Yeah, so you can spend the 25 for that if she's making a normal one. So yeah, this is the next day. Things have been quiet as far as you can tell. The people are still hiding, defending. No riots broke out the next night, and no signs of blood hand attacks. So what do you want to do today?
Alright, shall we go in through that trapdoor from the statue?
Head back
Or
to
maybe-
the halls of Tarsus, you mean?
Yeah, right. That's where we found the Bloodhand originally.
Yeah, I mean, they were in that area. I think you have to go... Yeah, I think that Blackwater wanted you to explore that area because he was under the impression they might have a presence there.
Right. I'm cool with it.
You can do.
All right.
We go pick up Lyra. Lyra!
Lyra says, yeah, I can go with you. I was actually going to ask you when we were going to go back there. I want to have more research I want to do. We barely scratched the surface. Alright, so you head into the underground area. Coming in, you said through the statue entrance?
It's the one
Yes.
the mayor didn't know about, but I think knows about now, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so...
I totally meant to ask this, but I totally forgot. But is there a way we can buy like a tracking dog?
A tracking dog? Like a mastiff?
Yeah, or a bloodhound or whatever. The ones that.
So probably when the caravan comes through, like it's unlikely anyone's selling one right now, just because of how
Okay.
bad things are.
Alright, go. Okay.
So I need up to 2 survival checks to navigate these underground tunnels. You've done this a few times, so the DC is only 10. But up to 2 of you can work on it.
Wow.
I have
Well, that's
been
one.
using shock.
Yeah, you
The
can use...
character, but
If no one else has
but-
survival, you could
I
use
have
shock.
it as. I have it.
Oh, Walnut has it. All right, well, there you
Oh
go.
my
God.
All right.
No, not chalk the character, chalk the thing you write with.
Thing you write with.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
chalk.
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 Yeah, chalk.
Oh, chalk, not shock. Chalk.
Chalk.
All right. Well,
Does that help?
so Oliver and Walnut are having some problems.
We're not in the dungeon yet.
Well, you are now.
I
mean-
disagree with that statement.
Yeah. Walnut's like,
I mean,
wait,
can I
where
just?
are
I know
we?
Yeah.
you got me a ring, but I think taking me to the dungeon's a bit too early in our relationship so far, Walnut. I think you need to take me to dinner first.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Dinner then dungeon.
That's where I thought I was taking you, but I see that we're now in the Underground.
took a wrong
Hey,
turn.
D&D, dinner and dungeons.
Dinner and dungeon, baby.
Sounds
That's
like
right,
a sounds like a good evening. So you spend about 2 hours wandering around down here. Luckily, you don't bump into anything hostile, but it's about 11 a.m. Give me another set of rolls.
Can we use Melody?
Oh my god!
Can we use Melody? I think
You can
Melody has
use
good-
anyone you want that's in your
Let's
group.
use. Let's use Melody.
You're gonna ask
Hang
Melody to
on,
do
did
it?
we bring Melody with us?
Yeah, she's considered with the group right now, since you're missing so many people. Alright.
And it's just wisdom, right?
It is a wisdom check, yes. Alright. So, yeah, Walnut is still like, I still think it's south. And she's like, I don't think it's south. Why don't we go back this way? Another random encounter roll, if you're lost. And another random encounter roll. Oh, we've been getting good with those. So finally, at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you get to the friggin' dungeon.
When we get to that, dome of Wall of Force order with the guy inside,
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, Walnut, what do you make of this?
Of what now?
So as you're going towards, or as you're going through the hall, there's a large area where it looks like a battle of some kind took place. There is a skeleton with wizard robes and markings on him, suggesting he may have been a rune master of the 12th cycle, who is sealed in some kind of wall of force. Looks dwarven to you. An Arcana check might tell you more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know a little bit about the Rune Masters. You know that they were a specialty, like a evoker or a illusionist or an what's it called, like a like an abjurer. But basically, Rune Master was a subclass of wizard, basically that existed during the Therian cycle. They are wizards that specialized in using runes to hold magic. And this guy seems to have some kind of permanent wall of force erected around him. You believe it's being powered by something, but you're not sure what. Because it's very unlikely the rune itself would have lasted this long. There might be something in the area that's powering this.
Do you think it's one of these crystals?
Because, yeah, there are a bunch of runes inside the Wall of Force that you believe are channeling magical energy to keep the skeleton sealed in there. You think maybe he erected this around himself to protect himself from the attackers and died of his wounds afterwards, and they just couldn't get into him.
Yeah. I mean, the ruins shouldn't last this long, so they're being powered by something around. Your idea of the crystal being one, but oh, I mean,
Lyra says, yes, actually, I was thinking that as well. There might be something in this dungeon that's powering this. If we could shut it off, maybe we could get to the remains.
maybe okay. We'll keep an eye out for it.
Oh, and I don't think you've met... I mean, you've met Lyra, but I don't know if you've seen her before.
Oh,
It's an elven wizard also working for Blackwater. She is she's what's it called, like a historian. specializing in like lore and yeah, like the past and such. All right, so the group returns to this dungeon.
This forsaken dungeon that kills us almost every time.
Except all of you are here. So it's 1, 2. Oh, and I have to bring Walnut in because he hasn't been here before.
Yeah.
So I think that's the
Then
three
how do
of
we
you.
bring? Then how do we bring tokens in?
I already put you on the map. Can you not
Okay.
see?
Yeah, just whenever combat, we'll get my defender in there.
Oh, yeah, you can drag him from the journal onto the map.
Ah, that's what it was. Okay, yeah. I was like, how do we do
Yeah. I mean, if you really want, you could pull him out now, but usually it's fine to just keep him
Nah.
in the background.
it? Exactly, I agree. Yeah. For now, he's next to me at all times. So, combat. So okay.
Alright, so the halls are still musty, or musky. Musty? Musty. A bunch of bones everywhere. The destroyed construct is still laying there in pieces.
Wow, what was that?
Some kind of bone monstrosity.
Yeah, it's,
Can I roll or
you-
arcane, or do they know what it is and they can just tell me?
yeah, you can roll an arcane.
That's
So you know that these types of creatures often are created by necromancers as kind of like almost like a siege type destructive force, usually used for like destroying buildings and breaking through things. It's kind of weird because they are vulnerable to bludgeoning damage a lot of times, but they are enchanted with their hands being covered in like force energy. So when they punch things, they can knock over like walls and such.
like a bigger version
but-
of my defender.
Yeah, these things are very rare though. Like you probably haven't seen any in this cycle. They more existed like in past cycles.
You guys killed this?
Yeah.
Barely.
Shock says it was not an easy fight, but we did finally take the creature down.
Oh, amazing. That's so cool. I wish I was here.
Well, hopefully we won't have to fight another one of them.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't. It's not that cool.
It's not that cool. So to the south, yeah, you see some more dead undead creatures.
Dead.
Looks like some kind of weird, like gaunt undead, also lying on the floor.
Okay. Interesting.
And yeah, that's about all you can see unless you go further south.
Hey, there was a door with some weird what is that, pentagram on the ground?
Yeah, over there. So if you go over there, it does look like the pentagram is still there. Looks like some kind of dark ritual was performed here. There are dwarven skeletons hanging on the wall.
Just
Anything
walk on
to
through.
decipher or read? Ruins, glyphs.
Yeah. So it looks like there's some writing on the, or markings on the floor near where the fiery pentagram is. Arcana might tell you some more. Yeah, it would be Arcana. You think this is a seal meant to prevent outsiders from moving over it. So like angels, devils, anything not of this plane would not be able to cross this seal.
So the seal is the pentagram, or the seal is the thing on the other side of the pentagram?
The seal is the thing on the other side of the
Okay.
pentagram.
Okay.
But you think the pentagram was used in the ritual to create the seal.
Okay. And this is the. Have you guys tried to cross the pentagram?
Yeah,
I'd
there's
rather not
a door over
step
there.
on the pentagram, so kind of like tiptoe around it.
Yeah, you can carefully walk around it as to not interact.
Alright, and I'll do that. I'll make my way over here. Oop. Well, I guess we have to interact with it here. I attempt the door. Is it unlocked?
That door is locked.
I do not have these tools.
I don't even think Thieves' Tools would work here anyway. If it did, I doubt it would. It would just be one of many.
Well, you don't think so Thieves' Tools probably would work. You don't think the seal would stop you from crossing. It would just stop, yeah, you don't think the door is magically sealed. It's more sealed against, like, outsiders.
Okay.
So to try and bust it down?
You could have known as Thieves' Tools. You might have to attack it. That could make noise, though. To attract attention.
Could we use Roderick in the background or no?
Doesn't David have Thieves' Tools? But Artificer's got Thieves' Tools.
Point. Since it was not something I consciously, I might have had to choose.
I know at some level you get all tools, but I don't know if you're there yet.
Yeah, I don't think I'm there yet, but let me double check, because I might...
I'll say you don't have access to Roderick right now.
I have Thieves' Tools.
This is an alternate reality where Melody's here instead of Roderick.
Okay.
I do have Thieves' Tools. I can't do anything with them, but I have them.
Oh, you don't have proficiency?
No, because what would be... That would be thievery, or what skill is that, actually, to be honest?
It's just the proficiency with Thieves' Tools. So, if you're proficient with the tools, then you have what you need.
Oh, okay.
Do you... Yeah.
Well, Oliver has Jack of all trades, so he's proficient.
No, tools are not the same as a skill.
Oh.
Yeah, that's different.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, tools are a different thing. I guess I can look at your sheet. Because, yeah, there's Thieves' Tool Proficiency, and then there's Thieves' Tools the item. So if you had Thieves' Tools Proficiency, it would be under your proficiencies.
Yeah, let's see, actually.
Yeah, it says Thieves' Tool under your proficiencies.
Oh, got
Thieves' Tools, Tinker Tools, Woodcarver Tools, Smith's Tools, and Pan Flute are your proficiencies.
Oh, okay.
So if you click on... Yeah, if you click on the Thieves' Tools, it should give you a check. Like, it'll ask what the check is you're going to use. And I'll say you can use Int or Dex to use these.
Oh, 100% Int, baby.
Yeah, I assumed. I don't see you as a Dexy Thieves' Tool person.
Cool. Well, thanks, Lou.
Alright, so you analyze the lock for a bit, and you... use your Thieves' Tools.
Can I guidance myself? Is that a thing you can do? Or is it only for others?
Yes, you can guidance yourself. So if you want to add a d4, that's fine.
Yeah, let's do that. 21.
Yeah, so you unlock the door. Are you going to open it?
We ready to open this?
Let's do this.
Ready as
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So you pull open the large double door, which creaks angrily in protest as you do. Bunch of dust falls down. On the other side, looks like some kind of laboratory. Though the first thing you notice is 4 skeletons just kind of standing in the room. They seem to be glowing slightly. They don't seem to react to you as the door opens. They just kind of stand there. What do you want to do? Oh, let's see. No, well, yeah. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Like, I thought Undead couldn't cross these.
Outsiders can't cross those.
They might have been, even then, they might have just been in there and then the seal was erected and then they died. They got the door closed up.
Alright, shall we take them out before they activate?
Well, are they going to activate? Because you've opened the door and they're not coming at us.
It could be when we step through the door.
How about I ready an Eldritch Blast, all of you ready the simplest thing, and then one of you takes a step. Actually, send the Satyr in.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how, because how do I pull him in?
You click and like basically click and drag from the journal onto the map. I think you have to do it by its like the text, like the name.
There we go. Okay, yeah, that's what I was.
Oh, but you put him outside the map. Hang on, I'll put
Yep.
him in.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. He's in the walls. Okay, let me bring his sheet back up. Okay, and then yeah, we'll. Are we allowed to ready action in 5e?
You can't ready until initiative starts. That's the whole point of initiative.
Okay. Okay, that's fair enough. All right, he's going in. Are we ready?
Let's do this.
All right.
Yeah.
So
My hand, by the way.
the satyr. Now that's a construct. That's not an actual satyr, right? Because satyrs are technically outsiders.
No, because you could make the defender anything you want. I can make four legs. Yeah,
so yeah, he walks in, and the skeletons still don't do anything. Again, they just kind of stand there. And he would tell you now. Does he speak?
That's a good question. Yes. I don't see why not. Let's just read it. I considered that he could, but
so he would tell you that it looks like there's some kind of rune carved into their hip bones that's glowing. The skeletons, which is a little odd. Because he noticed that with his passive of 16.
Yeah, because he does have a passive where he stopped. Your tinkering has born a companion, a still defender. It's friendly to you and your companion. It obeys your commands. Which uses your you determine the creature's appearance and whether it has 2 legs or 4. Your choice has no effects on game statistics. I treat him that he could talk. I get good command him. He's friendly towards you. But sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like to talk.
Alright. So yeah, he would say, like I said, that these skeletons have this weird symbol carved into their hip bones that's glowing.
Okay.
I'll walk in as well then.
Yeah, we'll walk together.
Alright, so this looks like some kind of ancient laboratory, but it doesn't look like a magical one per se, more like an alchemical one. You would see there's a bunch of alchemy lab supplies over here.
I'm somewhat of an alchemist myself.
Yeah, there's like a fireplace to the north that is burning, which is very odd. And there is a pillar in the center of the room with arcane runes like etched into it all over. On the floor, from the pillar to the wall, is a trail of runes that kind of end at the wall here.
Oh, do you think this is powering that wall of force?
I was just thinking maybe this is a puzzle and there's something that's maybe I walk over. What is the line going?
The fireplace is definitely letting off light, and it's making noise as if a fire is crackling within, but you don't feel any heat coming off of it. It almost looks like some kind of decoration.
There's no heat coming through it. I've seen Oliver cast illusions before, so I pull out my rapier and just swing it across the fire.
What, in the fireplace?
Yeah.
Alright, your rapier would just go through the fire. It doesn't seem to affect it. It just keeps burning.
And does it come back ashy or anything?
No, there's, it's not heating up your rapier at all.
Okay. Can I try to say it's an illusion?
Oh yeah, you're all pretty sure that's an illusionary fire.
Okay.
Where does it go to? Is there
So it seems to go right up to the wall. Give me an active perception check if you're looking at that.
Yes. Go, maybe.
So there's a painting on the wall above it. It looks like it's just a decoration. Actually, that looks like an art object if anyone wants to grab it. Or you can send it to your camp. Hang on.
Yeah,
If
let's
it's
take it.
worth money, take it.
Yeah.
So you can either
Damn.
take it or you can have your people grab it later and just put it in your camp. Here, I'll give you it in chat.
Or do I just post it in the?
You would
Camp.
guess that it is magically enhanced because it isn't falling apart. Yeah, you can
Nice.
just put it in your camp thing. It weighs about 5 pounds because you'll need the weight. But David, or I should say Walnut, it looks like the runes on the floor go right up to the wall, and there's a slight space that looks like a spot where the floor and the wall don't touch each other, like almost like a very small like a space like you might run electrical wire where the runes go into the wall and
Yeah.
the wall is not touching the ground exactly.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I say what I
Check out
saw
an
at everyone.
illusion as well.
What was that?
Check out an illusion.
The wall? The
Yeah.
wall feels solid to you if you
Okay.
touch it.
And then looking at the rune thing in the center.
So Arcana might tell you something about that, but it's obscure, so it'd be DC 25.
Here we go.
Remember, if you have advantage, well, or if you have inspiration. No, you're not sure what's going on there.
No. Okay. Not really sure what this thing is.
Are these floors over? Oh wait, actually, is there anything on the alchemist table?
Yeah, so if you examine the alchemist table, you'd see a few things. The tools look very, like, even though they're old, they look very well made. Possibly like the tools like an artisan alchemist might use. You think they might make the creation of potions less expensive. But the bad thing is you need the whole table as well as the tools.
We'll send our camp followers to pick it up later.
All right, so that's going to weigh about 150 pounds, just FYI. But yes,
If
you
we
can
can-
add that to your camp if you want.
Yes, I can finally start making potions with
Yeah.
these supplies.
Those will also make any potions that you want to craft 10% cheaper.
What? How do I write it down?
Just
Alchemist-
Master Alchemist tool, or Master Alchemist station, 150 pounds.
Price. There's not gonna put anything in. 150, right?
Yeah, and just make sure one of the camp effects now is potions are 10% cheaper.
Potions. 10%.
So, for example, a healing potion is usually 25 components. It would be like what? 23 components? Yeah.
Nice. That works for both arcane and nature potions.
Yes, it can be used for nature potions as well.
Nice.
Healing potions. All right, so you make a note for your people to come get that later, along with the paintings.
And what's this thing in the corner?
It's an old cauldron, like it's all rusty and kind of falling apart.
I look inside, anything there?
So inside the cauldron, looks like there's a bunch of weird muck at the bottom of it. Like, you can't really see through whatever it is. It's like brown, and there's like a really strong acidic smell coming from it.
Do you skeletons have any weapons on them?
No, they're just like completely just skeletons.
But do they have any articles of clothing?
No,
Or are
they'd
they
probably be.
just bare bones?
Yeah, they're just fully bare bone skeletons.
Okay. Right. I checked the store over here.
All right, so your defender, David,
Yeah.
kind of look towards the north suddenly, and as he does, several spectral creatures fly out of the wall, surprising the group.
Not my defender.
But your defender is not, because he heard them, so I need initiative rolls.
Yeah, but he goes after me anyway. So I don't understand quite how that all works.
It's just he would not lose his first turn, whereas you would.
Yeah, but his turn is always after mine.
Yeah, so your turn would pass, and then he would get to go normal.
Yeah.
No, I have a. Okay, DM, I have a question. With Oliver being who and what he is, can I cross the pentagram?
It seemed like you were able to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't want to start crossing it, and then it's like, no, you can't. So I was like, wait.
Technically, you don't have enough outsider to prevent it, it seems.
And you're only half outsider.
Alright, so the first enemy I think you recognize.
Do we bring in Shock and Mighty?
Oh yeah, let me get them. Give me a sec. So they would technically be there as well. The second ghostly figure, I don't think you guys have seen before. Looks kind of like the Wraith, but a little bit more smoke-like than like a dark shadow. Alright, so Melody and Shock. I think Melody would also not be surprised, because she had high enough passive perception. Alright.
Lyra's with us.
Lyra's in the background, though. She's not a combat. So the first to go, as these things appear, is going to be the Dream Wraith. Alright. Remember what this thing does.
I like the music.
Bum, 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 bum. So the Dream Wraith is going to look over at Shock and start whispering something. Oh, wait. Is this an attack roll? Oh, it is an attack roll. Alright, so never mind. He's going to fly over at Shock and attempt to grab him. But luckily, Shock is too quick and will dodge out of the way. Say, what is this thing? Get it off me! That is it for the Dream Wraith. Melody is...
Surprised. Oh, she's not surprised, right? You said.
Actually, would she be surprised? Let me just check her sheet, because I don't know if she's actually trained in perception. Oh, she is. So no, she's not surprised. She's going to... remember what she does. Yeah, she doesn't really have a... well, I guess she has Sacred Flame. Alright, she is going to start chanting, producing a Sacred Flame that she hurls at the Dream Wraith. Yells, "Get off my man!" And he is, he is surprised a little. Oh, but he manages to dodge it. Now looking at her. She would end her turn. Damien, what are you going to do? Oh, you're surprised. Shock is surprised. The Wraith is going to fly over at Damien and attempt to grab you. God. Oh, yeah, he's grabbing you.
Yeah.
So the Wraith life drain, or hits you for 15 necrotic, and I need a con save.
Minus 15. Con save. What's the DC?
DC 14 con save.
I will lucky.
You're out of luck. Oh no, it's next day.
It's a new day.
All right, luck dice.
So I just rerolled the con save. Right?
Oh, you just roll another d20. Yeah, so 17 would be enough, and you would just take the 15 necrotic damage.
Okay. Shoot.
Now is the luck dice reaction?
No, I don't think so. Here, I can post it.
Okay. Well, that would be it for the Wraith. So you take 15. Walnut.
Okay.
What are you
So
gonna do?
that's 2 people. So let's.
No, it doesn't say it's. It's a reaction.
Gonna move over there and shoot this guy twice.
Alright, so you take a shot at that guy. Oh yeah, 26 will strike the Wraith with your magical crossbow. Pap. Doing 14, taking him kind of by surprise.
Shoot him again.
Yeah, you land another shot, doing another 10. The Wraith now looks angrily towards you. Anything else? Oh wait, you were surprised. God damn it.
Oh yeah.
So you wouldn't, you wouldn't have got to do anything.
Yeah. Going back.
All right, what was his HP?
I remember.
Completely
24.
blanked on that. All right, so never mind. You were surprised. Steel Defender is not though. You can't give him a command, so all he can do is move and
Yeah.
dodge.
Yeah, so he will go towards shot. 1. Oh yeah, how do we do this? So tap Q or hold him.
Yeah, hold the token, press Q once, and press Q again every time you want to put down a waypoint. So, you just like... Alright.
I did it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to put it for every step, but yeah, that's fine. So he rushes around to the other side of Shock, and that would be it for him.
The default action is dodge.
Alright, so he's dodging. Oliver was surprised. From the other side of the room, another enemy comes screaming through the door. Ah!
Oh God.
It is going to go around you for the flank.
Save us, undead.
Save us, undead. 12 luckily will miss you, though, Damien. That is it for the Spectre, and I just realized. New round, another one of these creatures comes streaming in. This one is going to fly past you, Damien, giving you an oppie if you want to take it. Looks like it's going towards Shock.
I have a ranged weapon.
Oh, so yeah, it's going to come over here, and Shock's like, what the? Oh, yeah, 20 is going to strike him. And Shock needs con save. Con save. Oh, he will fail. So he takes 11 life drain as he is visibly withered. That's it for the Spectre. The Dream Wraith is going to flank him and attack again with a Sleep Touch. It's like, get him off me! Oh, 19 will strike. And he takes another 15 Psychic. This time has to make a Charisma saving throw.
That's okay. He's a Chad. Don't make this.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. He is a Chad. He's like, whatever, I got this. But he is wounded from the psychic damage as he starts to bleed from his eyes. Ugh. Melody says, Shock, no! And she's gonna pull out spiritual weapon as a bonus action. 21 will strike the guy here, hitting him for 9 force damage. Let me place the spiritual weapon. So it pops out over here. She will then hurl another sacred flame at that guy. Oh, good roll. Let's see. Save to dodge. Dex save. Oh, he will fail and take another 12 radiant. Now,
Wow.
look kind of pissed at Melody. Damien, what are you gonna do?
Is my health bar updated for you guys?
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
Okay, yeah, because it's not updated on my screen. So, I will, as a bonus action,
Oh wait, what's it supposed to be at?
37 out of 52.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Okay. As a bonus action, I will use my second wind
Okay.
to heal a D10 plus my fighter level. 1d10 plus 6.
My dog
Like
is so
this, right?
angry. He's like, I want to go out. Alright, so you regain 7, feeling a little bit better.
Then I will give 2 oppies so I can move over here.
Oh, risky. Alright, they will take them. So the first guy...
I guess they won't be with flanking right because I technically move to the right first. And then downwards.
Yeah, when you move there, they'd get them. So the first guy is going to attack,
That barely hits, yeah.
life draining you for 5 and a con save, please.
Minus
To see if
5.
it's life drain or just normal damage. Alright, so yeah, just normal damage. So 5 necrotic damage. The Wraith is also taking his reaction. Oh, but bad rolls. Lucky. Alright, what are you doing?
Lucky it's my feet. I'm going to shoot at this specter on shock.
Okay. So you take aim and fire. The pillar's in the way, but 22 will strike him. Because luckily you do have sharpshooter. Doing
25?
18. The fire is halved. He seems to resist it, so 20 points of damage. And that creature is badly wounded. Ah. Wait, is he badly wounded or just kill him? He's badly wounded.
It's wait, does this fire count as magical or no?
Fire is just fire. There's no such thing as magical fire.
Oh, okay. Then I will shoot at the one that Melody already.
Alright, so second shot at the other guy.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, 22 will strike him. Doing 18 points of damage. That would wound him and get his attention. So he's now... Looks like he's about to fly towards you.
I'll action surge.
Okay.
So I post it in the thing.
So you are moving very quickly, trying to take out as many guys as possible.
Yeah, and I'll shoot the same guy once more.
Oh, it's gonna miss.
I will...
Using those resources.
Yeah. I will attempt a precision.
Alright, precision shot. This is against the guy that you just hit, right?
Yeah, the dream
Okay,
racing.
so AC 14, you need at least a 5.
1d8.
Oh, that is gonna miss. Second shot.
Then one more shot, baby. Oh,
Oh, there you go, crit. Doing That's a good roll. 25 and 3, 28, which will take that creature down. Goes into dying. Anything else?
Hey, can I stand here, or is the pillar in the way?
The pillar would be in the way there.
Okay, can I stand right here?
Yes.
Right, I'll stand right there, and I will end my turn.
All right. From the wall, another one of these creatures flies in from the doorway. It's going to see Damien and fly over at him. The flank.
My goodness. There's how many of these are there? As I
luckily,
desperately try to defend
luckily
myself.
you jump to the side as he attempts to grab you, and he would miss. Shock yells, "Hold strong, Damien. We can take them." He's going to get into the flank with this one, swinging his longsword. 18 will strike. Fortunately, he doesn't have a magical attack, so it just goes through the thing. He says, "Curses!"
Lie around and make him.
Oh yeah, she didn't do it today. So he'd swing twice, but his weapon has no effect on this thing. The Wraith is going to take stock for a second. He's going to fly over at Walnut. Moving here. Then he is going to attack you with a life drain. Oh, but luckily you dodge out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you have a low AC. So just barely.
Yeah,
Walnut, what are you gonna do?
I am going to, as a bonus action, Misty Step to over. Is this this? I didn't mean to put my name. Is that obstructing view? Is it like floor to ceiling?
Partially, but you can see around it.
Okay. So I Misty Step over there.
All right.
And I shoot him twice.
All right. So you would have cover. He'd have +2 to AC from the pillar.
Yeah.
So AC 15 on these shots. Oh, but yeah, you would easily hit. Are you under bless?
No, not yet.
All right. So I'm gonna.
This is my first turn.
I'm gonna take that thing off of you. You shouldn't be rolling with bless. So you can uncheck the global modifier to get rid of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so 18 would strike on the first shot, but the other one would miss. You blast him for 16 points of damage. He looks very unhappy with you. Anything else?
Bonus action, defender attack.
You command your defender, and on its turn, it rushes over. Who's it attacking?
Go right there. Any attacks?
Alright, the specter there blasts it.
Oh, there.
Alright, 18 will strike, blasting it for 11. Alright, that would wound the creature. Though it doesn't seem interested in your defender, as your defender doesn't have life force. Oliver.
That hurts.
Racist.
Okay.
He was my friend.
It's like, get a life, loser. And the defender just cries a single tear.
Right. Right, so I'm going to send one Eldritch Blast at that guy, and then one Eldritch Blast at that guy.
Alright, so they both have light cover. First one is AC 14, second 15. Alright, so the first one would miss, but you do hit the Wraith. Blasting it for 7, though it still looks angry at Walnut.
Oh, I am going to give Melody a Bardic Inspiration for the healing or damage. Oh, Bardic Inspiration can use whatever she wants.
She gives you a nod of approval. The Spectre is going to ignore shock because he missed him and attack, or because he doesn't have a magical weapon, and attack Damien with flank.
That's fair.
9,
Yes.
nope, so you would dodge it. Into the new round, the Spectre over on the other side of the room is going to fly over at Melody and attack her. But she luckily dodges, avoiding its life drain. Okay, Melody, for her turn. I think she's gonna... Well, first of all, she's gonna spiritual weapon. It's gonna fly over and attack this guy. Just gonna roll that manually, because I can do that, because I don't cheat. Yeah, so the spiritual weapon smacks into him. How much does this do for damage?
D8, I think.
1d8. That was more than that.
I think D plus wisdom.
Oh, that's probably what it is. I believe you. You sound like an honest person. Alright, so that would be d8 plus 4.
And it's force damage.
Yeah. I'm just gonna roll with the screen here. I don't see my d8. Oh, 12 points. And that guy is actually killed. So the weapon just smashes through him. She will then assess shock. Take a look at him, see he's wounded, and she is gonna use that healing thing, or she'll use a healing spell. Level 1 for 5, and you said she can add her thing to it, right?
You can add a D8.
Oh, did I forget
Add a
to
D8.
reset her spells? Yeah, I think I did. Alright, so she has now 3 first level, 3 second level, 2 third level. Okay, so she can add a d8 to that.
Yep.
Healing shock for, nice, 12. He says, thank you, Melody. She gives him a little wink. Alright, he's looking better, not wounded anymore, and that would be the end of her turn. Damien.
Oh, this is risky. Can I? I'll just shoot the Spectre above me. It's almost dead. At
The
disadvantage.
wounded one? Alright, so you take aim at the one next to you.
Yeah, since it's a disadvantage, I will not be taking the penalty.
It's probably smart. Yeah, 23 will strike it, doing 11 points, which is exactly its health as it goes to dying.
Nice. And I will shoot the Wraith, I suppose.
Alright, you take aim at the Wraith. Another disadvantage shot.
Yes, disadvantage.
Looks like it's about to fly at, what's his name? Walnut. Oh, 13 is just enough, so that will hit it. Doing another 12, and that will get its attention back on you, as it now turns to attack you. Anything else? Oh, and that does wounded as well.
A little help here as I try to fend it off with my bow. That's it.
Alright, so that Spectre got blasted. Shock says, I'm coming! But there's a Wraith in the way. So he comes over to here. Says, Melody, get to the flank. He's gonna move over here and attack. Say, alright, I don't have a magical weapon. The Wraith goes. It is going to lunge at Blackwater. Ooh, and you misses you. Nice. Walnut.
Alright, we got a Wraith and then
You got a Spectre here. and a wraith over here.
Alright, we'll shoot the rate. Twice.
Alright, it has cover, but 27 will be enough. Shooting around the pillar, striking it for 16, which puts it to badly wounded. Second shot. Oh no, that is not going to be enough. Alright, anything else? Movement, bonus action?
No, that's it. Our bonus action to have the defender move.
Alright, so go blast someone. So the defender comes down to attack. If you go 2 more south, you can get a flank.
Yeah, sure, why not?
+2. Oh, 22 will strike, blasting the Wraith. 9. Oh, he is badly wounded, but still up. Oliver.
Okay. Okay. Right. I'm gonna do 2 Eldritch Blasts at this guy.
Alright, so you aim over Melody and Shock. 27 would strike with the first for 9. Ah. Still not wounded, though. Anything else?
Yeah, no.
Alright, stand your ground. The Spectre... That one's dead. So new round. This Spectre can't get to you. I think he's going to attack Melody. Oh, crits her.
So rebobs.
Alright, so you use your reaction spending a first level spell to manipulate reality. Who are you giving the advantage to?
I will give advantage to... Can I give it to the Still Defender?
Sure.
Oh,
Cool,
yeah.
Still Defender.
Alright.
Hell yeah.
So the reroll is forced, and 12 will miss her. Alright, Melody goes.
You're welcome.
She gives you a nod of approval as she ducks around this way and is going to attack with flank. So she does a mace attack. 16, 18 will strike, and her mace seems to do magical damage. So the creature takes 6, becoming wounded. She will then point at him as her weapon comes flying down, and will strike her as well, doing a d8 plus 4. 8 points of damage, which would be enough to bring it down. Aww.
Shock, remind us to get you a magical weapon after this.
He says, kind of things I fight where a sword doesn't work, he says with frustration. Damien.
If only the artificer had done something to his weapon.
You mean the
Alright.
wizard?
The and yeah, you cast sass as a reaction.
I'll shoot at this guy with disadvantage.
All right. Oh wait, why would you have advantage?
Disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage. All right. Flies past him.
Tragic. Number 2. 17.
Yeah, 17 will strike him.
9 plus.
All right, and that is going to be enough to bring him down.
Oh, thank goodness, bro.
So the spirits seem to have been slain. What do you want to do?
They all come from this door.
A bunch of them came from the door. Some of them came from the north wall.
Okay. Alright, how everyone doing? Everyone's okay?
I got
So
a few scratches, but that's about it.
yeah, it looks like some people are tired. So like tired is if you're above half but not at full. Like Shock looks a little tired, like Damien would, but no one looks wounded anymore. Shock says, "Well done, all of you. I'm sorry I was kind of useless in that fight. Perhaps I should have taken the artificer up on his offer to enchant my weapon. I didn't even think about it."
I didn't either.
And he says,
Yeah,
"I figured you all would need his enchantments more than I."
Lyra says she could do it as well. Isn't that right, Lyra?
Lyric to enchant his weapon.
Well, Ira says, I did not prepare that spell. I have research spells.
But we had
Fucking
informed you of
useless
this
wizard.
yesterday.
She says it's been a busy day. Okay, there was attacks, and I forgot. My apologies.
Oliver says under his breath, "Fucking useless wizard."
Alright. Okay,
Stealth
let's
sass.
moving on. I
Yeah.
attempt the door.
Yeah, check that door.
That door seems to be locked as well. Oh, and you can try to collect essence from these things if you want.
Oh, how do you do that?
So undead have essence that can be used for crafting, rituals, or to make components. You would just take a minute for each undead you want to collect essence from, and if you have religion, you get bonus essence. If you don't, you just get the normal amount.
I don't have any of that. So.
With Jack of all trades, do I get bonus from that, or do you have to specifically be trained in it?
I believe you have to be trained. So
Okay.
you would just get the normal amount of essence. So do you want to collect it? Take some time?
Yeah. Speaking of Jack of all trades, if initiative is a skill check,
Yes.
do you get to add Jack of all trades? to
He
that?
would, yes.
That's
But
right.
I think he knows that
Does it?
already. Oh wait, let me see
Yeah.
Jack of all trades. I think it's skill. Initiative is an ability check, not a skill check.
Oh,
Give me a
okay.
second.
You do have disadvantage on it if you have exhaustion, but I don't think Jack of all trades. So it isn't.
It's-
Oh no, it says an ability check. And half your participant round down to any ability check you make that doesn't. But it says it doesn't already include your proficiency. Oh no, I think that would work. So I think you would add half of your proficiency to your initiative check, because that is an ability check, and it
Okay,
doesn't
my
include your
initiative's 4.
proficiency.
Is that right with the Jack of all trades thing, or do I have to add something to it?
So what's your dex score?
2.
Yeah, so it'd be
Oh.
4. So you're already adding it.
Okay, cool. Alright,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's cool. That's hella cool.
All right. So the
Can I
door.
investigate the illusionary fireplace? I'll let you do the door first.
Yeah, while he's ravaging, I will do guidance and then do my luck thing.
Let me do the essences really quick.
Okay.
And no one has religion, right? You said.
I don't.
No, I only have a +6 to it for Jack of all trades. I don't have anything more.
Okay.
Hey, Melody?
Oh, it's true. Melody.
I have
Melody would have religion. Okay. Adjust these then, because she would probably be helping.
get a lot of people to do all the exhausting stuff. You just handle the fun.
Yeah, that's what camp followers are for, right?
Have the little people.
You know, one day we'll have our own army of the what?
Alright, so there are the essences. I don't know if one of you is taking them or if you want to put them in the party treasury.
I can put them in the treasury.
Who's the treasurer?
That's me, I believe, right?
Alright,
Yeah.
so make sure you add those.
Oh, we already have a race essence, so I just added on top of that, right?
Yes. And give me an investigation for the fireplace.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh.
Plus a d4. Alright, you said you were giving him guidance.
Yeah.
So, it's
Guidance.
32.
Oh
my
my
God.
god.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, it's definitely illusionary fire. You kind of examine the pieces of wood, and you discover they're actually like kind of a metal that just is painted to look like wood. Behind the fireplace, as you're feeling around, you think you feel a couple of buttons. There are 3 of them.
Can I kneel into or squat under or kneel down to look at them?
Sure. So if you kneel
I vanish
down,
into the illusion.
yeah, sure, you can just put your head in the fire. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, you would see kind of up under the like fireplace mantle. There are 3 buttons, any of which you could press.
Are they labeled?
They are not labeled.
Wow, these people have very bad labeling skills.
Okay.
Whoever put them there
seeing
probably
the
knew what they
buttons-
did.
Seeing the
Sometimes
buttons,
you forget.
Can I look around the room to see if I see anything that has any were they glyphs on the buttons or are they just buttons?
They are just buttons. Looks like they're just like stone square, like yeah, stone squares that can be pushed.
Okay.
Push the left one.
I'm not pressing random buttons.
You know what? That's
Ah.
fair.
What kind of
Like-
adventurer are you?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
he's
that's
doing
not
is
very
being,
adventurous of you.
can I
Not
do
pushing
my
the
myself
button.
after that, and then try to unlock the door.
Yeah, but actually we are getting to the end,
Okay.
so we might want to save that till next time.
Okay.
Are you guys okay ending here before we go through the door?
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Alright, let's do an MVP vote. It's my dog. Either he really wants to go out or he really wants attention. He keeps scratching me. It's like, let's go. Like, you'll go when I'm good and ready, pup. Alright, I got 2 votes.
I did Discord again.
Damn it. Why must you make this hard? Alright, Walnut with 2 votes, your MVP.
Yay! Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah.
You get inspiration if you didn't already have it.
Where do we put that down?
You just click on the inspiration box, and it should fill it with a symbol.
Cool.
Yeah. Alright, well, good game, everyone. Hopefully we'll have our 4th in next week, and hopefully I can pick up in a 5th and maybe even a 6th.
That would be nice.
We shall see.
All right, later, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys,
doing?
I
Oh, yeah?
made a playlist for all of our sessions. So I'm just going to toss it in here. Hold on, how do I...
You mean like for YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could toss it up in the, I don't know, where would you toss that? Up in the Discord, I guess?
Wait, I'll just throw it in the main chat.
Okay.
Or under roleplay, maybe?
Just put it in the main chat. Roleplay is more for, like, character interactions.
Yeah. So if any of you ever want to go back and watch the sessions, they're
Yeah.
all stacked neatly right there.
Nice.
Maybe the stuff
Cool.
before I joined because I hate my own voice.
You what?
Alright,
Because you hate your own voice?
Maybe the sessions before I joined because I do just hate my own voice.
Honestly, I hate my own voice as well. But sometimes, like, I want to remind myself of what we did last session.
All
I
right.
cringe every time I hear myself.
Okay.
Idiot.
Oh, and, you let the one who missed know he has a day of downtime, your rogue, just for whatever project he wants.
Oh, yeah. I'll send him a message.
Okay. Just taking some notes here while they're fresh in my mind. But yeah, David, are so you're heading over soon?
Yeah, I literally will be heading out now.
All right. Well, I will see you in a little bit.
Right.
Kudos, Pete.
Well, yeah, that was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's what I aim for.
I'll see y'all next week, hopefully.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Later, later.
See you all next week.
Yeah, see you then. Wait, there is no hoe anymore. Sad.